We are live. Hello, hello, hello. We've got one Shady Grady, but Sketty beat him in by a few minutes. And by a few, I mean like 13. And then we've got Merrick in, or Merrick. Merrick. Am I saying your name right, Merrick? That's how I say it in my head when I read it. Hey, Denny. And Kevin Ulry. Kevin Ulry. How we doing, buddy? Hello, hello. Friday peeps. That's us. Ed should be joining us. He just woke up at about 6 minutes too, so he's getting his ducks in a row. Hey, 3G, what's going on, bud? Good seeing you here, Greg. So we're gonna just talk about Aquashella till the old boy shows up. Squatchy and Paul Newman. I don't know why I'm talking like that. Paul Newman. I did that for my it wasn't really a short, but it was a 3-minute video that released today too. Sitting at work trying to make 12:30 get here quicker. Yeah, just blink a few times. That's the way life goes. It's like that. We're gonna talk Aquashella. Hey Keith, what's going on, bud? Hope you're feeling pretty good today. Uh, I know you deal with shit, so be up and down, I know. Leslie Perry, is this your first live stream for me? Not a replay? Can't remember. And Muppet, oh my goodness. All the cool kids are here, except for Ed. So I went to Aquashella this past week. We'll probably be repeating this because when Ed gets here. But anyway, I got to talk about something, right? Yeah, I got outside in. Hey, yeah, Aquashella was weird. It was cool, but it was weird. You know, they're trying to bring the YouTuber shit is okay today. Thanks. Yeah, good. Good to hear. Um, where I keep losing track where I'm at. Nancy B. Squirrel. Yeah, so it was weird, but it was cool. I mean, I got to meet a bunch of people that I hadn't met before, or I hadn't met in a while. Like I met Rod and Lisa from Predatory Fins. I don't know, 4 years ago, 5 years ago, 6 years ago. I don't even remember. It was a while ago because I remember getting to their shop in Florida with Mrs. Whip, and yeah, it kind of was, Keith. I don't know what was happening, um, but it was. Some people were saying it was a bigger space and more spread out, so it didn't, everybody wasn't crammed in there. But I don't know. I mean, 2 years ago, yeah, in 2022, I feel like the area was bigger. I don't know. I didn't like take measurements or anything, so I don't know. But I definitely had two different YouTubers telling me one way or the other. So anyway, yeah, we were there, and I met Rod and Lisa again, and this time I got to meet Kevin. Because he's kind of working with them now. Hey, Quirky and Wiz, what's going on, B Wiz? Cleaning debris in the pool. Got a blast. Oh, gotcha on blast. Gotcha. And yeah, that was awesome. I got to talk to those guys for a while. Paul Cafaro was there, but I didn't really. I mean, I got nothing against Paul. I know some people don't like him because he was a kid when he started. He did some stuff that was a little bit questionable, but I mean, I think he's pretty okay now. I mean, he's early mid 20s now and doing all right for himself. So good for him. And of course, Jason and Joanna were there. Primetime Aquatics, they had their own booth. I got to meet Brett Raymer from Tanked for the first time. I mean, I know he's been at a couple of them, but I had never met him before. So pick with him. Got to meet Chevy. She and I have been in the same space at the same time, and I'd never met her before, so I didn't know what she looked like. I probably walked right by her half a dozen times or more. And because I'm on screen from time to time, more now than back then, but she knew who I was, but she's always busy. She's a very busy person. She works the Aquashella, she works the Green Water, where I would have seen her. And, there's just a lot to do. I don't know how to say your name. So 420 tank 420. I don't know how to say that. But good morning. Hey, Danny V's here. Hey, Danny. What is it? 12? Yeah, it's gotta be like 11. So yeah, where was I? Who else did I see there that was cool? I got to ride a shark. Not a real shark, but a mechanical shark. They took it real easy on me, and I still fell off pretty fast. That was fun. That thing was like a greased pig up there. Although there was one dude that sat up there like he was a professional. I don't think he was gonna fall off on his own. They tried to buck him off, and he just wouldn't leave the seat. I need some stickum from my butt if I ever do that again. Let's see, what did Outside In have to say? And good morning if I didn't say it already. I think if there were people who flew out for the Chicago show or had to take far drives, were probably disappointed. That's going to hurt turnout for next year, I bet. Well, maybe. I don't know. I mean, there's no guarantee that there's going to be a next year for Aquashella. I mean, they've got some internal things they got to work out. I am not near knowledgeable enough to speak on it. I just, people talk. I hear people, and I guess there's some things going on behind the scenes that need to get fixed. So it might be reworked. I'm not sure. But anyway, yeah. So they tried to bring the YouTubers back into the fold. I know they've reached out to Ed, and I'm not 100% sure where that is at. We can ask him when he gets here if we want to. I don't know if they reached out to Carrie from Science Scale. I would imagine they did. And those two were pretty instrumental when it comes to and Jesse, Carrie's wife. Hey, Xanadu, what's going on, bud? So yeah, General Motors YouTube. Huh? What? Oh, GM. Good morning. Almost right, went right over my head there. I don't understand why they pick where they pick for Aquashella. Well, the two spots were because that's where the two dudes were from. The two dudes that own Aquashella, George and Sean, are from Chicago and Dallas, respectively. I don't know why they picked Daytona or wherever it was before that, Orlando maybe. That might have been just because it's pretty dense with population, and they thought maybe they could bring in the Salties. Zenny, what's going on, Zenny? I didn't finish that, and I apparently can't. There it goes. If you're doing 3 shows, put them in the 3 easiest airports to fly to. 1 East Coast, 1 West Coast. Yeah, see, but no, that's not the way. That wasn't the whole point of it from the get-go. They don't care about the West Coast because it's the West Coast, and I mean, who really cares about the West Coast, really? I'm just kidding. But no, I know for sure the reason that Texas and Illinois were picked was because that's where the 2 owners are from. And like I said, I don't know why they picked Florida, other than maybe they were hoping for a better mix of saltwater to freshwater. But yeah, then who else did I get to meet there? It seemed like there was a lot of people. Oh, Shelby and Grant from Garden of Eden were there. I got to hang with them for a little bit, not much. They're always so damn busy. I don't remember how many tanks between the two of them they did, but it was, I'll stick with my standard 47. It had to been close because I mean they were every time I turned around, Grant or Shelby were escaping another tank. I think Grant came in fourth, or maybe he tied for fourth with Shelby. I don't remember anymore. I should have wrote that stuff down, but it doesn't matter. They both placed, I believe. And Jason from Primetime won the Dryscape YouTuber thing with Rob. And Rob, I know we were talking the other day where I was like, oh, there's Ed. Hey, Ed.
Hi there.
I know we were talking the other day where I was like, I don't know if Rob, if he even likes me or not, because he kind of, was off-putted, not off-putting. He was kind of standoffish the first time I met him, but he was just super busy. Because this time, I mean, he brought me into the fold, even though I'm a much smaller channel, and it made me feel like I belong there. So that was cool. I mean, I got to escape a tank. I did not place because my standard throw stuff in the middle and let it go wasn't appealing to the eye apparently.
That's awesome.
But I was the last tank to be auctioned off. I heard my name over the loudspeaker, and our final auction goes to Whip's World. That was kind of fun. So what's Zenny have to say? A lot of fish fam in Florida, right? Yeah, there is. There's a lot of them out there, especially the bigger name ones. Well, actually, now I'm not sure. I know Lucas is down there. Paul Cafaro is down there.
Ryan Reynolds is there.
Ryan Reynolds.
I mean, yeah. Richard Reynolds.
Richard, yes. I thought you were doing a Deadpool thing there for half a second.
I know. So did I. I didn't mean to. I got Deadpool on my mind. I'm just going over, see how there's a couple little white spots you can see through?
Yeah, they poke through.
Yeah, I think that happened when it was drying. I'm just going over with a little bit of this brown ash. And filling it in.
Filling it in. Okay, so Zenny says, I know they've been also discussed many times how expensive it is to get anything shipped and set up on the West Coast. I think that's actually it. It's just a super, plus, well, it's expensive just to rent a place there.
Well, there's a couple of major things that are against us. California has so many different laws you got to jump through and permits to do a show in California. It's almost, you got to have a legal team just to do it. You make sure you get everything legal. But like Las Vegas is offered and stuff. And the problem is our drivers, the diesel truck drivers, there's like 20 of them. They're all volunteer guys. They're not professional drivers. And none of them want to drive through the Rocky Mountains. So they would have to hire professional drivers to go through the Rocky Mountains to take all the stuff.
Right.
So the Rocky Mountains was a huge, but it still might happen someday because Las Vegas was offering some great deals. But their problem was they kept wanting to push everything in the summer. And we kept saying you can't have fish in 120 degrees, in your car. And they kept saying, well, it's all air conditioned. But getting there and coming out, it's not.
Right.
And you have a lot of vendors bringing in a lot of fish during that day, and they're all squeezing in the few holes. So they're waiting in line sometimes. That's why they're going to try to stop doing Dallas in the summer because they try to avoid that at all costs because Dallas gets so hot.
Right. Yeah, and that's why they go early. And that's why they did
it.
Yeah, that was a whoops because they did Dallas in the middle of the year, and they did Chicago in the end of the year. So people were getting the heat of Dallas and the extreme Well, I guess it wasn't extreme cold, but it was definitely chilly in Chicago in August. Not August, October.
I liked it.
A lot of fish fam in Florida, right? Oh, I read that already. I feel like that show would have been worth traveling for. Yeah, the other issue with Florida, if you want to call it that, is where they were holding it. And I think Ed was there, so he knows better than I. But it was uber expensive to stay at the
Yeah, the
hotel. Right?
Gaylord
Yeah, it was
in
like a
Orlando.
super high end hotel. I mean, I watched people. I think Carrie did an extensive video walking around the. I mean, it was like the Taj Mahal damn near.
Yeah. The first year we paid for it, and James and I and Sean Peck all split it 3 ways for 2 nights. And it was for 2 nights for 3 guys, and the room was so small, it was unbelievable. We could barely fit the blow up bed in there for James. I think it was like almost $400 a piece for 2 nights in there. It was terrible.
That's split three ways.
Three
Or
ways, yeah.
so it was 4, 4, and 4.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Hey, Danny V is not looking to get off topic necessarily, but he wants to know if you've heard anything about Bob Kaler. Is he better? I didn't know he was sick. Did he mention that he
Oh,
was sick?
I don't know.
I haven't heard.
Lately? Let me
I
look at the
mean,
fish mafia stuff.
there was nothing there. I just know he was run down. Maybe he's talking about last Sunday when I had to
Uh,
take over.
oh,
I
Bob.
didn't.
See, Bob runs. He's in charge of a pet shelter, and he's down about 3 or 4 volunteers. And so he's only supposed to do like 18 hours or 12 hours a week, something like 1 or 2 shifts, but he's doing 6 shifts a week. And I think they're like 12-hour shifts instead of like normal 8-hour shifts because he just doesn't have any people working anymore.
Right. Hey,
I
J
think the
Rock is
economy's
here.
gone to hell and people had to get second jobs instead of working for free
Right.
at a shelter.
Morning, J Rock. B Wiz is
Hey,
going to be
J-Rock.
lurking and cleaning the pools after a hurricane.
Nice.
Be careful,
I was
bud.
in
I
the
know
pool.
there's some
I'll be in
stuff
the
down there
pool.
you don't want to tangle with.
He probably tangles with it, Dave. He's a professional
He is a
pool
professional.
man.
We're going to scroll on down. I see mostly just people saying hi. Hi. Passing wind. Hey, buddy.
Taking care of a
And
pool is
Melvin.
very
Melvin's
intimidating.
here.
Hey, Mel. Yeah, taking care of a pool for the first time is very intimidating. Like, just for us to winterize it, we hired professionals to come out and teach us how to do it.
Mrs. Whip is here. Hey, baby.
You don't want to
Skitty.
mess up and ruin your pool.
No, for sure. So yeah, I was talking. I don't know how much you caught. I didn't see how when you jumped in, but I got to meet a whole bunch of folk at the old Aquashella. We had a good time. I got to sit with Big Rich all weekend long. Man,
Did you
that dude
guys
brings
go
it.
out to eat?
Not I didn't go out with him. I bought pizza the first day for his crew, my crew, and by my crew I mean me and Mama.
Uh-huh.
And then I bought one for the prime timers over there. just because, man, you want to talk about busy. You ever hear about being busier than a one-legged man in a kicking contest? That was Jason and Joanna over there. They had both their kids and Joanna's sister. So 5 people were working a 10 by 10 booth, and they were just hopping, just nonstop, go, 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 go. It was crazy. And then Rich had, I mean, he had a constant stream of people coming up and saying hey to him. And I got some of the while they wait, company. While they waited to talk to him, they had to talk to me.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Rich would sign like an autograph and then pass it to me and goes, you want Whip's World signature too, right? And they're like, they don't even know who I am. And they're like, yeah, sure.
That's awesome. Now I'm going to glue this extra nose on. Oh, I don't even. Did you say hi, Oinky?
I didn't see Oinky.
Oh, you kind of skipped for a second. Maybe it was hi, Fish Nerd.
Oh, Fish Nerd. I missed him. Where did he come in at?
He's like, I get the last 3 comments, and he said, hi, Spaghetti. Hi, Spaghetti.
Yeah, I don't see Oinky in here. I might have missed
I don't think she is.
But yeah, Corky says, blame inflation all you like. Grocery stores increased prices by 7% when inflation was only 3%. We're being robbed, folks, and the people doing it have names and addresses. You know what it is? It's called, they're going to charge as much as they can until we quit paying for it.
We can afford to not pay for it. But I mean, I definitely see the inflation. It sucks.
Wendy's here. I think I saw him earlier, but if in case I missed you, Whip's World Aquatic Fish Keeping and a little light bondage. Don't run away. I want to take a picture with you. Yeah, right. M&C's here. Hey, Mike, what's going on? Cali Kev is in the house. Good morning, Whippin' Ed and Peanut Gallery.
Hi. Cali. That's an awesome. What was Kev's name before? Was it always Cali?
Yeah, I think so. He comes over from. I see him over in Ben Ochard's show a lot. I think that's where I mostly see you, isn't it, Kev? I'm pretty sure.
Oh, I should have. Darn it! I should have sent a thing to Ben telling him to come down to Chattanooga this weekend for the show. I forgot. Oh well. Next time
I'm meeting him on Sunday. I'm giving away my female red terror to him. I bought for him. I mean, I actually bought. It's not mine. I bought it for him. I called him before I even bought it. I said, "Hey, I know you said that." And by call, but that makes it sound like I have his personal phone.
Yeah, I just talked
to him. I said, I know you've been. Yeah. You've been looking for a female. They have one here, supposedly. I can buy it and bring it to you. And he's like, man, that would be awesome. So I'm going to meet up with him somewhere near Nashville. And
that's super cool. That's something we should talk about too. So what days are you going to be in town? All week?
I think Sunday to Saturday.
Awesome.
So we'll see how it goes. I told them I need at least one day, to hang out with you if we can work it out, or maybe go see Bob or go check out some pet stores or whatever.
Yeah. That'd be awesome.
Yeah. So, and then I used your recommendation, and I bought some Krylon Color Max acrylic latex paint in a can, and I bought a roller. And hey, I'm already up. Why am I already up? I must have hit the go. Look how messy my desk is. That is just terrible. I painted the back of my 130, the old new 130. Came up pretty good.
You'll have to let me know how it works in a can. I've never used it like paint on.
Yeah, I mean, it covered real nice, much better than spray paint for me.
Huh,
Like some people are really good with spray paint, but I'm gonna kick myself back down.
I'm a pretty good spray paint guy.
Yeah, I get runs a lot.
Okay, so I just fixed his nose hole or the little barbel on the ends.
Oh yeah, got a
I
little
did
bit
a
of
little
white
bit of
poking
red.
through.
Yeah, I think I can see a little bit of the paint on the side. Or the paint, the glue, glaring.
Oh, we're gonna just miss Paul. I think we're coming home like on the 17th, so we'll just be I'll wave goodbye as you wave hello.
Now, what Spaghetti just said, she said, Ed, have you heard of Collect? Wait. Oh, Collecticon? It's a convention for artists that make figures and
Figurines.
artwork and stuff. First year for it, it looks pretty good to me. Well, shoot. Let's find out. Oh, right. Oh, there's my phone. Whip was
And then,
standing in front of my phone.
ah,
Was it called Collector Con?
collected con. And then Nancy B has, while you're looking that up, she has a question for you. Hey Ed, I caught your replay this morning, fell asleep last night. Did you try to replant your mosaic the raccoons ripped up? If it
What?
isn't too damaged, it should re-root.
It's still rooted. They just pulled all the leaves off the sticks or off the stalks. So now it just looks like spaghettis.
Ah.
They pulled all the little leaves that are so cool right off of them.
Kev, I was gonna show off the paint job that I had done on my tank, which I didn't do, and I didn't realize I had brought my second camera up already. That's how observant I am. Oh, look, there's it's already up. Um, she says it was in Navy Pier, at Navy Pier, so maybe it was something that already happened.
August 3rd and 4th. Darn it.
And Nancy says, "Ah, that stinks. Hopefully they'll regrow." Yeah, so they weren't uprooted; they were just defoliated.
Yeah.
Defoliated? I don't know. Deleafed.
All of them. They didn't stop at just one or two. And there was probably like 8 stocks of them. It's just raccoons are goofy, man. Every single day they knock my the fountains over, and I put a new fountain on one of them that shoots a whole bunch of stuff, and they stole the thing off of it. Found top. Well, I'm going to hit save into this on my phone, or make it add to screen home.
Do you have Instagram, Ed?
I do have Instagram.
She says there's pictures of it on Instagram,
Nice.
probably on Facebook too. But I having not heard of it before, I don't know that for sure. So I think on if you feel like going long today, we can go long again. We have I don't think Johnny No Shoes is streaming for some reason again. He said he's working a lot. So if you want to paint, unless you're almost done.
No, I got my men to paint, so I'm good. That's awesome.
If we have enough to talk about, I guess.
Well, if we have to, we'll bring up pictures of Collecticon.
Yeah, I'm sure everybody would love that. Oh, you know what? I can also show off. I got while I was at Aquashella. Let me bring myself up again real quick.
If Zen Ginger's here, she likes everything.
She does that. As Zen Ginger.
We could talk about walnuts, and she'd be excited.
Look how messy this place is. It's terrible. So I got this little fella. I showed him off last night. That's a chili red Oscar.
He is such a cute little guy. Now, can you tell if they're a male or a female by their pectoral fin, or?
I would bet that June probably can. She's very knowledgeable in the Oscar, obviously, but I don't know how to tell. They look so similar to me, the male and the female. I just
sometimes the females can be big jerks. So
oh yeah,
that's not even a way to tell.
Well, Oscars get a really bad rap. They are not nearly as aggressive as people think they are. Like mine has gotten beat up multiple times, and it's a huge fish. I mean, I don't know who all watched the swap out video I did last Friday, I think it was, but I showed him off a little bit, but he started just oozing the slime coat. I mean, the minute I took him out of the water, he just went bubbly. He was like just kicking it out of his body. So
gross.
I threw him in the tank without showing him off too much. But he's a big fish. I mean, he's every bit this big, however big that is. And he's tall bodied too. So I am almost 100% sure that's a male. Unless females get bigger than males in the Oscar world.
I don't know.
I don't either. Once again, we need June.
Yep. What is Depth Charge's favorite fish?
I don't know. Let's ask. Depth Charge. Hello. And what's your favorite fish? Last summer, raccoons were in relentless on my ponds. It was terrible. I relocated them. I assume you're talking the
Holy crap, you just moved because of raccoons?
I think she relocated the raccoons.
Oh.
She's gonna send it to you on Instagram, the link. And then Zenny says, well, I mean, not everything. Danny wants to know if we're going long, is it a Hail Mary pass? It could be, because Lord knows I need both Hail and Mary in my life. Depth Charge says, sorry I'm late. Got a chance to take a break. Oh, you don't even have to worry about that, my friend. The fact that you got here at all is cool. Do walnuts excite you, Zen? and she says, not really, but pecans really do. Something really do
See,
something to me.
I knew she was into some type of nuts.
Anyone got any big plans this weekend? My kids start school Monday and Tuesday. That's from J Rock. I'm going to Tennessee, so that's my big plans.
I'm gonna pretend like I'm really busy so Whip doesn't bother me.
Oh man, I miss Sue Ann. Sue Ann's here too.
I could also take you and Crystal to the aquarium.
Yeah,
Have you
maybe we
been
could.
to the Tennessee Aquarium?
I have not. I haven't been to the
Cool.
Tennessee Aquarium. I haven't been to the Georgia Aquarium. I haven't been to any of them. We usually just drive right on by.
Well, like I was talking to those guys in Atlanta, and they all prefer the Tennessee Aquarium. But it's because they're freshwater lovers. And the Tennessee Aquarium is supposed to be the biggest freshwater aquarium, at least in North America. It seems like
Really?
every time we get something big to buy, it gets bigger.
We rescued the cat and found out that it was nearsighted. I wonder if fish have a visual problem like us too. I'm not sure where that was coming from. He might have been talking about something else. Wendy was talking about rescuing a nearsighted cat. Oh, and I missed Benji. Benji, what's going on, buddy?
Man,
Leslie says,
Ben's
punch that
awesome.
like button. That's right. Listen to Leslie. Ex Cali Kev says, I just watched an interview with Alan Parsons. You know, the guy who, yes, I know who that is. And in the background of his home, there's a big saltwater aquarium. Just thought it was cool. Yep,
I'm
that would be cool.
I'll show you guys what I'm doing here. I'm gonna paint this purple shirt white.
That sounds fun.
Yeah.
J Rock has a pile of products that he needs to do reviews on this weekend. Some fish stuff, some not. Wendy says I was talking about your Oscar that gets beat up on. Oh, yeah. See, I'm so easily distracted. And Depth Charge says bikers are his. So he's with you.
Nice. I need to do some homework on them because I want to learn about the upper and lower jawed ones because they split into two different groups, an upper and a lower jaw, and I want to learn which ones are which.
And what was that for? I was reading, so I only caught the last half of that. Upper and
The
lower jaw for what?
biters,
Oh, the bite shirt. Oh, all
or
right.
however you say it. And I need to learn which ones are which. And one is a lot more aggressive than the other. So the aggressive jawed one is the ornates, and the non-aggressive or the least aggressive ones are the sentinels. And
Sentinels don't get near as big either, right? They're the smallest out of the bunch.
the sentinel,
Yeah,
I don't know.
I'm pretty sure that's accurate. Just don't
Ornates
go
aren't
by
that,
them.
they don't get too big.
They get pretty big. Have you seen the one that? Oh my lord! See how quick my brain just disengages.
The ornates grow really fast, but I think
He
mine
hasn't
only have a couple more inches to go.
he hasn't been on on YouTube in a minute, but there was a kid that went and helped John move the fish tank with me. He lives in the panhandle of Florida. Why can't I remember his name? Good Lord, I know it. Anyway, he gave John a ornate, and that thing is as big as it grew fast, but it also grew as big or bigger than the ones he had already. You can catch him in the 360 behind him every now and again. Sue Ann says, Ed, I have that same shirt.
That's awesome.
And Lumpy's here. Hey, Lump, what's going on?
I hope it's bigger. This one was given to me, and it's only an extra large, so it doesn't really. I wouldn't want to wear it out without an undershirt because it doesn't stretch down all the way down my body. I have like a really long body.
Yep, same problem. Same problem.
And right now, if I stood up, there's a chance you'd see my belly button. So I'm not going to do
it. Sue Ann says that's what we have. They have Senegals. We actually just lost one of them this morning. Oh, well, that's too bad.
Well, that sucks.
Was it an older one or just what happened? You know? Lumpy says.
Oh,
Most
hey,
people
Lumpy.
keep. Yeah.
Well, first read what Lumpy has to say.
Most people keep bikers in a big open tank. That said, they are naturally ambush predators and prefer lots of cover.
Yeah, mine are always hiding behind the rocks and stuff. But then they come out and swim right in front too.
Yeah, especially the Senegal. The Senegal like to glass surf. I've noticed that. The biker. They're all biker. The ornate is a hider. Until they get bigger and they're not.
It's
so
up to their. It's up to everyone's has a different attitude, because I've got one that hides and one that's always in front of the glass. Just like I've seen Sentinels do the same thing. So when you're buying them at the fish store, look for the ones that like to be on the front because they're the fun ones. They really have different personalities. It's crazy.
Oh, and then Sue Ann just blew my Oscars get a bad rap out of the water because she said, I think the Oscar might have got a little rough with it. Well, better get back to work. Have a great day, everyone. That's from Depth Charge. Sorry, bud. I know it's a Friday. Most people are working.
I had a very aggressive dreadfin acara, and he T-boned my Deltese, and I could see a big pinch mark in the side of her where he got her, but she turned around and bit his fennel. It grew back, but he never touched her again. He gave her a lot of space. Right. I mean, having teeth is a major advantage, I think.
Yeah, and they can't see where the crap, but they can bite pretty hard if they get a hold of you.
Yeah, they're cool.
My little biker's a maniac, hiding or swimming all over the tank, nothing in between.
Sean Peck has a great big Sentinel that hides all the time and only comes out at feeding time. Called Mr. Tubes.
Mr. Tubes?
Yeah, that's his name. And he's in with rainbows. And I mean, he's so big, he could eat those rainbows if he wanted.
They're just tough to catch.
That's true, too.
I mean, you've seen the way they hunt. They just kind of work around until wow, that was quick.
Yeah,
until they find it with their face
right now.
What were you going to ask Lumpy?
Oh, Lumpy. He was fantastically fun in the auction draft that we had, the baseball auction. And I was wondering if you'd like to do an auction football. I've never done an auction football, but I figure we'll do it the exact same way. It's a lot less players, but what we'll do is we'll try to get 8 guys to play, or 10. I doubt we'll get 10. And because we already have 4 leagues of 10 in the other league. But do $200 maybe, and you have to fill out your team. Would you want to do it, Whip?
If I did that, I probably would drop out of the other one. I can barely keep up with one, much less 2.
Well, then I won't hold you to it. Because I haven't quite figured out. I was thinking about just throwing invites back to everybody and seeing, because I don't know how to contact 40 people. Because, some of them watch my show, but some of them have moved on, and, they just are all over the place.
Right.
But like Big J, he loves to play, but he doesn't really watch anything much anymore. I'll
Big
text
Jake?
him. I think I'm going to let Rico stay blue. Because I really like those pinstripes.
Yeah. Very gangster. Lumpy said, maybe. Send me a link when you're ready.
Okay, it'll probably be sometime next weekend. I got to set up, I got to look at the schedule because I got to get the 4 set up for the normal drafts, but those only take about a half hour to an hour. And that auction one, that took about 4 hours, but boy, it was sure fun. It was a lot of fun just hanging out with the guys,
3G, no, Big J is not here. He's just one of the guys that play on the football league with us.
He's been in that league for 5 years now.
Hey, Johnny. Hey, Johnny, you're not, before you go back to lurk mode, you're not streaming today, or you are? Because it sounded like you weren't. And if you're not, I'm just going to go along. I'm assuming he's working. That's why he's lurking. All Chief players are buy one, get one free, Lumpy says.
Ooh. Deal.
Yeah, right. You're breaking Ed's heart.
The Chiefs are hard to tell, though. I mean, last year their offense really stunk. So they went from averaging 45 points a game to, I think they said 27 points a game. It was like 2 touchdowns less per game. And over a course of 17 games, that's a lot of missing touchdowns.
Right. I wonder if it was just because of the receivers dropping stuff, or
the receivers were horrific last year, just terrible. But our defense got so good, it made up for it. I mean, what are the freaking odds?
Right.
But this year, our receivers are so much better.
It's getting the guns out.
Yeah, well, it's just short already, so.
So Johnny says, no, I'm not till further notice because of work. Hopefully they get someone hired soon. So I guess he's not going to be doing Fridays for a little bit. Although that could change any time, I suppose. They hire somebody.
Yeah, they did. They sucked all the way to the Super Bowl. It just, Patrick Mahomes is amazing.
Yeah.
And that Rice that got into the car accident, who might get an 8-game suspension this year, we finally found one receiver that wouldn't drop the ball. I mean, it is. If you look at their stats, it's beyond horrible how many drops that Kadarius Toney, Sky Moore, and LV or LSV, LS Scantley, whatever his name is.
Do you have the
Scantley
old
dropped.
Steeler receiver on your team still, or no?
Just trying to think what Steeler we've had.
You had just recently. He was a.
We had a guy named James from the Giants that I thought was going to be really good, but he got hurt at the beginning of the year. So that sucked. We lost him for the whole year. We have a big, tall, white guy named Justin Watson. He's a good receiver, but he only goes long. And so when you're only a long distance receiver, your receptions don't do very great. You know, you drop more when you're catching everything over 20 yards out. He doesn't catch anything close. But he was still our top receiver, I think, last year, other than Rice. And Rice only showed up the last 8 games of the year. It was pretty funny because I traded for Rice from James's wife, Shy. She had Rice and he hadn't done anything all year. So I traded her a crappy player for a crappy player because I figured I'd rather have a cheap crappy player. And then he went off and had 800-yard games in a row.
Damn it.
Yeah, it was awesome. That was good.
I can't remember that kid's name. I'm pretty sure he went to you. Oh, Juju Smith. That's what it was. Is he still with you?
Oh, no, he only played 1 year with us. He came to the Chiefs. He did pretty good. He only got 3 touchdowns. But he got about 900 yards. But he caught everything thrown to him. So that's what's really good. He's got great hands. But the Chiefs offered him $12 million a year, and New England offered him 13, so he went to New England and got hurt. Now there's a chance that New England was trying to trade him back to us.
Oh, really?
Because he was so terrible, and they want to get him off their payroll. But they don't want to just cut him, or otherwise they have to pay him all, dead money. But the Chiefs are like, well, we'll wait till you cut him because we don't want to trade for him. Because it'd be a lot cheaper if he gets cut and comes to us than if we pick up his contract.
Right. I don't know what she's talking about here. Zenny says, I have high hopes for the Texans this year, but we'll see. First game they lost, but it was rained out, and I don't know if they ever picked it back up or just lost on a technicality. Was that last year?
It might have been a preseason game.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to make up a preseason game.
But I think the Texans are going to be super exciting to watch.
Lumpy only watches to see Taylor Swift.
I think the Texans will be one of the top 3 teams in the AFC.
Possibly. I don't hold out. No, that's not the right word. I don't give them the credit they probably deserve until I see their quarterback do it more than 1 year in a row. Because was he a rookie last year, or was he a?
He was a rookie.
Yeah. So I mean, I've seen a lot of guys come out their rookie year and light it up, and then they just fall off the table. So
kind of like a Culpepper.
A lot of them. Who was the kid that got hurt in Washington? He lit it up for 2 years, and then he never did anything after that.
Kirk Cousins?
No. Before that, 3G. No, that's our boy Greg.
Oh yeah, MG3.
Yeah,
Griffin Jr. But he had horrific ankle injuries. I think that tore ligaments in his ankles back-to-back years, and He was all speed. I'm not into speedsters. I'd rather have a guy who just throws the ball, and that guy can wing it. And then
Yeah,
they added another wide receiver. The scary thing about them is they're not thinking about the future. Like if you look at the Chiefs, we've got $16 million under the cap because we don't go crazy with free agents every year. They are going crazy this year with free agents because their quarterback's still on their rookie contract for the next 4 more years. Well, in 4 years, that whole team is going to have to be dismantled
right.
to pay their quarterback.
Maybe.
And that's what happened to Seattle. It's what's happening to Buffalo this year. It's sad when that happens. I think Buffalo's going to be horrific this year. I'm sorry, people from Buffalo. But, they had to give up their whole defense and all their wide receivers. That's rough.
3G gave up football a few years ago. Crashed all his swag and haven't watched since. I did take a break from it for 4 or 5 years just because I couldn't take the every third play is a penalty, and that just makes me crazy. Just let the boys play, God's sakes.
Yeah, I hate the penalties.
Pep's
Well,
here.
I
Hey,
gave
Pep.
up.
Jets. And then everybody was giving us the RG3 answer. I just hadn't got down to it yet. Yeah, I don't know. I just I don't have I don't rely on teams that are a one-hit wonder potentially. So if he could, I did that with New England too, and see that turned out to be the wrong thing because they were a powerhouse for 15, 18 years.
Yeah, but they're New England, so they cheated.
I was like, nah, who is this Brady? He ain't gonna be nothing, and then he turned out to
I
be
know.
the
Well,
greatest
Drew
football
Bledsoe
player
was so
ever.
good. I disagree. Is Barry Bonds the greatest baseball player ever? Statistically, he should be.
I don't know that he is because he was. I mean, he hit more home runs, but was he considered overall the greatest? I don't think so.
One of the greats, but he's not even in the Hall of Fame because of the steroids.
Yeah, he was caught physically cheating. I mean,
but so was Brady multiple times.
well, one time.
No, Spygate.
That wasn't him. That's the coaching staff. He didn't have nothing to do with that.
He still knew the defensive plays that they were going to do at him.
Maybe
they were hiring people to go into the other team's private practices. They hired a coach to pretend like he was a journalist, and he was going into all the private practices for years. And he showed up to Cincinnati when Cincinnati had only won one game that year, and they were like, "Who are you?" Because nobody's showing up to our meetings. And if they found out he was a spy, so that was a big deal. They bug the other team locker rooms, and all the players admit to it after they leave the team. They say, "Whatever you do, don't say nothing because they're listening to us." So they knew at halftime what type of defense he was going to get. I have no respect at all for anything New England did. Bill Belichick, if he didn't cheat, he'd just be probably an average coach. I mean, he threw that one Super Bowl because he was mad at the ownership for not trading Brady to San Francisco. I mean, what a tantrum. You don't throw a Super Bowl because you're upset.
I think that's what Seattle did to let them win another one.
I actually felt bad for Brady because he kept turning to ask for plays, and Brady had to call all the plays in that Super Bowl. And they took their best defensive player out, the captain of their defense, Blake. He plays for Tennessee now. Well, he did last year. He might be retired. But They pulled him out for the Super Bowl, the captain of the defensive team, just because Belichick wanted to say, "Screw you, Kraft. You trade who I tell you to trade."
So, have you added any? What are you going to do at the weekend of festivities for the fish thing that you're doing? Is that
Well, later
swap?
today, I do want to make sure that I have a fish tank ready if I buy anything. The
Are you
only thing
looking
I'm
for
really
anything?
I'd
Oh,
like to get some rice fish.
rice fish. I really want. No, I shouldn't say that. I keep overstepping what I'm saying. I really would like to see if it would be compatible. I haven't done any research on it yet, but I would like to see if a Starry Night would be able to get along with Frontosa and some smaller fish. I have a feeling it would eat the smaller fish, though. Frontosa, everybody tells me that they're predators, and maybe they are. But I mean, I watched Joey from DIY. He had Shelley's in with his Frontosa, and they were doing fine. They were the Shelleys were breeding and everything. So I'm wondering if I can maybe
Wow.
do something along those lines. But I think that Starry Night would screw that plan up. So now
They
I'm
have
not
a
sure if I'm.
Bahaka at the Tennessee Aquarium. They have probably a 3,000 gallon, but very too many F words. Even though I think Bahaka is P, but they have a Bahaka and a in with the whatever's.
With the Shelley's
No,
or with
the
the Frontosas.
Frontosas.
Yeah.
They have like a Frontosa tank that has like 200 Frontosas in there, and then they have a Bahaka that's about this big.
I wouldn't mind trying that, but they get too big. The Frontosa get big enough where I'm
Oh,
not even 100% sure that my 130 is going to be technically big enough for three of them. But I do have two reds and I picked up a Black Widow Frontosa Aquashella.
one thing is when they get real big, their colorations don't look as good.
Yeah, and you got to almost throw a blue light on them from what I've been seeing to make them look good, even when they're younger. But we're going to give it a go.
Yeah, I think I prefer to look at the crappie tank than the Frontosa tank at the Tennessee Aquarium.
That's where it is. That's where the tank is you're talking about? The Tennessee
They're
Aquarium?
next to each other, or they're near each other.
Oh, okay.
They've got a giant crappie tank that's filled with crappie and sturgeon.
I don't know what they look like when
Insane
they get
tall.
older, but crappie are a damn good looking fish too.
They are.
Yeah, they are very pretty. I think I'm going to do with my. I don't know if I'm going to do it in the 90 or the 65, but I think I'm going to do a Native American tank. Then I would have a Central
Yes.
America, North America, and South America.
There's a shirt white.
Yep, that's way whiter than it was. You gonna keep the tie purple, or are you gonna go red or something?
I think I'll go red or something. I want to get away from purple since he's the penguin. I got to get the green stuff so I can make a goatee for him.
Hey, there's June. We were
Bandana.
talking about you. Were your ears ringing?
Hi, June.
June, Are you gifted in the art of telling male from female Oscars? I know it's very difficult from what everybody says. There's not a great deal of difference without pulling them out of the water and checking under their little fishy skirts. I mean, is there a visual I should be picking up on? Alice Sean was asking Danny if he can make the shop hop tomorrow. That sounds like a fish tour almost, huh? And then Danny said, unfortunately, no.
Nuts. And
I'm
we could
playing
just do
bingo.
a fish swap, or we could do the fish hop too. I really need to get up to that fish store near you and drop off that red devil.
We can do that this weekend if you want, or Sunday or whatever. Maybe this week sometime.
Probably be easier in the middle of the week for me because I'm going to be gone all day Saturday. And I try not to be away from mom and dad for 2 straight days.
Gotcha.
Because they almost need something almost every day, it seems like. I'm taking mom out shopping later today, too.
Hey, Mike. Long Family Shoal is here.
Long family shore, shoal.
Shoal. So are you looking for rice fish? Are there multiple different types of rice, or are they just one basic species?
Hey, Mike, get ready for fantasy football. I would like to get some more platinum Madakas because they are just awesome. They're popping good. Normally, I try to stay away from whitefish, but they look so cool from above. They just glow from on top.
Right. There's a couple guppies out there like that I really like too. They have like a almost a metallic sheen to them that looks really good from above.
Oh yeah, I got a bunch of those different guys. Steelheads. That's
So
just what
Mike
they're
said he's
not
in.
actually steelhead in their name, but nice.
Cool. So anything? I mean, is there anything else? I mean, if you happen to run across it, or you got anything in the back of your mind, or not really?
I'm always looking for plants, because I kill a lot of plants.
Me
So
too.
you never know what I like to learn what I can take. Val normally always does well, and I have a hard time putting Val down. I had Val going great in one tank, and I like broke some off to give to other people. Now all the Val died in that tank, all the leftovers. It's so weird.
Yeah, that's
And
weird.
then I had corkscrew Val doing great in another tank, and I took it out and replanted it all in this big 40 breeder to try to just have a corkscrew farm. And it all died in the 40 breeder. Just so weird.
Yeah, my water. Most plants hate my water, and um, they just wither away to nothing. Uh, Mrs. Whip there bought herself. This plant is got to be this big. It came in a potting, just a typical plastic potter, and I just threw the whole thing right into the fish tank upstairs with the flower horn, just because the flower horn's hers, so she wanted the plant in there just to see if we could get it to live. And it's been in there what, a week now almost, and it hasn't died yet. I don't know how it's doing, but now that if it ends up living, I'm gonna have to come up with a way to root it or plant it.
You can leave it in the pot.
Won't it become root bound?
Ah, hey, I don't know. I grow things in pots all the time.
You grow pot all the time? Is that what I just heard?
No, I plant pots or I leave pots in my tanks that I don't want to dirt the soil.
Yeah, that's where I'm at. I just left it right in there so it wouldn't make a mess.
Like,
Jenny says all her platinum dacas died within 3 months. She doesn't think they like her water, but the orange ones lasted for years.
well, I bought a whole bunch of orange ones with James, and they all died at James's from his son.
Uh-oh.
And so I never got any orange ones into my house. And then my platinums were doing great. And I don't know what happened, but they all died like in 2 weeks. And so I'd like to try to do them over because I don't know quite what happened. But
Danny V says, I really want to travel to, I don't know what that word is, Cuboid? Cuboid? Do they still do the aquashelling classes? Oh, he's talking to Alishon. That was not meant for us. That's the Alishon. I think Alishon might have left with all the football talk, though. Alishon, you still out there, man?
I'm sorry I talked football on your show.
That's all right. I like football.
Zoom Ginger likes everything.
She does, except for walnuts, I think.
Yeah. Who knew?
What is this? Zenny, I feel your pain. I got 6 Starfire glow angels, and they all died one by one. Well,
Yeah.
they're
She's talking
glow.
about her rice fish that died.
Yeah. But what's
And
a
then
Starfire glow angel? I don't know what that is. I mean, I heard of a glow angel, but I never heard of a Starfire glow angel.
I don't know.
Let's look it up, bro.
What was I saying?
Stuff
My
about
rice
things.
fish, my daisy rice fish, I almost killed all of them off with a really stupid move. I bought 3 males from a fish store that I really like and put them in with my rice fish until I was going to have a tank ready for them with female endlers to put with them because I want to try to make try to make them or something cool from them. And they got a disease and they killed all my daisy rice fish but 2.
Oh,
If
no.
I see daisy rice fish, I'll probably buy daisy rice fish also. If I see hill string loaches, I'll buy them. I only have 2 of them because I was babysitting a whole bunch of those for a fish store. And 2 of them I couldn't find 2 when I was catching them all. So they only got like 14 of the 16 they bought. And they said, just keep the 2. Oh, wow, they're popping.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know that they all look like the one I got highlighted there, but that is a cool looking fish. I'm not a huge fan of the glow light stuff, but that is a good looking fish. Pep
My
says
mom loves her
daisies are the best.
glowfish.
Who does?
My mom.
Oh, yeah. And why wouldn't she?
Every time she would go into a fish store, she'd go straight to the glowfish. And then when I gave that fish tank to Dad, she's like, okay, I know what type of fish I want for my fish tank. It's like, sorry, Dad.
Pep says daisies are the best. I don't know if I want to try my hand at the hill stream again. I had one doing great, and then the water went foul on me. It definitely crashed because I lost almost everybody in there. But those little alien looking things are cool looking.
Yeah, I only have 2 in there, but I've got a whole bunch of rabbit giant rabbit snails or Hercules snails with them, so they're mass producing in that tank, which is cool because they're a slow producing fish or snail.
Remind me again what you said you had in the in your big tank, your 200.
My big tank, that's going to be potted plants. I've got 2 pots that I've bought that I'm going to put in there because right now it's set up for geophagus, the sand bottom.
Mm-hmm.
But my geos got murdered by that one threadfin acara that attacked my bisher that one time. But all I have in there right now is a green spotted Severin and a giant Synodontis. The Synodontis is about this big, but he's got a great big dorsal fin that's like huge. It's like 4 inches high when he pops it. And his tail gets like a great big giant fan too with stripes.
Right.
But he hides 98% of the time.
Yeah, that's catfishing as a whole, you know. Even cory cats, if you get the wrong type, the wrong species of cory, I mean, they disappear too.
Yeah, I really love my cory tank. I've got a 75-gallon cory tank. And when I drop the bloodworms at the top and the brine shrimp, they come up to the top and try to get it before the other guys get it.
They're like, I want some of that.
I've got cory cats upside down eating off the top. It is so funny.
Yeah, mine don't do that, but they definitely. Do you have one species? Full species.
They're emeralds. And then I've got a couple of loaches in there. And the loaches go up to the top, and I think that's what made the cory cats start to go to the top too. And eat upside down to be like the loaches.
Yeah, I've got I went the non-conventional way, and I started putting in like 3 of this kind and 2 of that, and now there's all kinds of cories running around in there.
I've got 2. They look a lot like a stir-by, but they're too big to be stir-by. I had a fish tank for a friend that was moving to Florida, and she asked me to take the fish for a couple months until she got a permanent place in Florida. And then when she did, she said, "Oh, just keep them." And it's like, I didn't want to have a fish tank with 3 cory cats and 2 frogs in it. But the frogs have since passed away because they were just so old. But the cories are still big and fat, so they're living with the other cories.
I don't see anything. I mean, there's no aggression or anything. I mean, they seem to get along fine. So I figured, what the hell?
I think all cory cats get along with each other.
Yeah, for a long time, I was just doing 1 cory cat of each. You know, like I'd go to the store, but if you go to the swaps, generally they don't sell 1 at a time. It's usually 5 or 6.
Yeah.
So the population in there is grown quickly. You know, with the you drop 15 cories in.
Peplin said daisies are the best. I had his daisies, and that's who I murdered most of. I murdered most of your because I didn't quarantine those 3 guppies. I just figured, well, they can't get anybody pregnant in this tank. So stupid.
Hey, QC, what's going on, bud?
Hey, partner.
Yeah, what happened to the oranges? You said they were they like banged together, or somebody dropped too much food in, or what happened?
I don't know for sure.
They just did.
What happened? Yeah.
That's too bad.
Yeah,
it's always nice to know what happened so you can not do it again.
Yeah, well, I never got them even in my house. They died over at James's place.
Were they still in bags?
No, yeah, he had them in a tank somewhere.
Oh.
We bought a giant bag of about 30 of them for, I don't know, $60 and we both put $30 in. We're going to split them 50-50
Right.
at a swap. And it was like 3 in the morning when we got home because I drove all the way to Indianapolis for that swap. And then we came back. So I dropped him off because I just wanted to get home and go to bed. And I was going to get it next time. And I never got him. But that's all right. I'm not blaming him. I mean, I could have killed him just as easy.
Yep. Zebra Pleco passed it the same way. That was an expensive loss. Yeah.
Yeah, I
Zebras,
bet.
that's yeesh. I have a mango in here. That's my most expensive Pleco. The hell, that might be my most expensive fish if I'm thinking about it. Because I think it was close to $50 or $60 for that thing. You know, and I see him once every 3 or 4 years.
James, I think, has like 6 of her Plecos. I don't know if he still has them or not.
I think I was just talking to him a couple of weeks ago, and it sounded like he had an issue with he's basically shut down at the moment. I mean, I think
Oh
he
my
had
God,
something.
that'd be horrible. That'd be terrible. That was, I've never been to his new place, but his old place, when I'd look at those Plecos, they were so beautiful.
Yeah, and you're just not a Pleco guy, right? I mean, or are you? No, you weren't the Pleco
No,
guy.
I'm not a Pleco
Yeah.
guy. I do have 6 little Plecos. I got 6 dwarf meat eater Plecos. I feed them brine shrimp every night and shrimp pellets in the morning. And I'm hoping they breed. They look like starlight Plecos, but they got white spots instead of black spots.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I wish she could have got those 6 from him because it took like 2 years. I mean, there was like 2 years worth that we could have got them to her and never worked out.
I know. You're probably kidding, QC, but Kenny E is selling some super whites. I don't know what he's asking for them though. I haven't really reached out to him on that, but he's got some that are high end and some that are not. Like,
are you looking for high end ones? I'll text him right now.
Where do the super whites come from? Are those from the zebra?
No, they're I think the super whites are they're the same line as the bristlenose and ancestral, I think is what they're called or something type. I think they're easier to breed.
Yeah. Danny says, have you decided on the final fish room setup? I know you wanted to make a South American and African thing. Any new plans? Not so much new. Here, I'll bring this up again. And you can see my embarrassing mess here. So, where am I at? Am I looking at me or the? So this is going to be, instead of a pond, I kind of went away from the pond. The pond would have had another 40 or 50 gallons in it, but it was open-ended, and I really didn't want that much surface water evaporating into the basement and possibly causing mold and all that stuff. So the plan is, this is going to be where my 150 is right now. That's going to be a small South American community kind of stuff. Not traditional guppies and stuff like what you guys think of as community, but I'll put like angels and blue acara in there. The stuff that's too small to live with the big guys. And then this is going to be That's where the 150, this one is moving to here. This will be replaced with a 120, which is basically the same footprint. It's just a little bit shorter. That'll be the 150, and that's going to be my Central American. This is staying right here now. I'm not going to flip it. And this is another 150. That's going to be Asian species. So that's where my fire eel is going to go, and my rainbow, and I think I got a couple other Asian type species. Uh, right now, like I have some barbs, the cherry barbs, that may not live in there long term, but they'll be fine. Then this is going to be a 90 right over here where the 75 is. And that's going to be probably Native American, like North American native fish. This is going to be my African tank. And I'm not sure what I'm going to do with this. I'm going to replace this 40 with a 60, which is, again, same footprint. It's just poly. And then I replaced my 14-gallon rimless cube with a 35. See that? You can't. Fine. That's what I got for that. Nothing's really in there. It's the only one that's ever had any luck growing plants. So I've just got a couple guppies in there, and you can just see. Yeah. Just a little ornate, a little tiny ornate. That I put in there for the quarantine. So I got the biker, and then this is just quarantine over here too. This is the red hair that I'm giving to Ben chart. Oh, behold, Houdini on me. Oh, there.
Nice tank.
One of these days, you'll have to show me how to blow pitch the screen up so it's on the one. And then this has my brontosa in it. So they'll eventually go to the 130, and then these will both be empty and ready for more quarantine. That's my big bruiser right there. Big old jaguar. He's a pretty boy. Pretty boy, pretty boy. But yeah, that's the plan so far. Nothing's really changed other than the pond. The pond went from
there. Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
Peplin just said they're not a bristlenose. The super whites.
No, not a bristlenose. The super. I thought they were zebras. But I don't know.
I didn't know what I see. I'm not a Pleco guy. I'm sorry, guys. Passing wind. Hi. Whip, do you use CO2?
I do not.
Passing wind thinks you should. No, she didn't say that, but
I am not going to do it. Pep says from the 236s, whatever the L240 236 is. I don't know what that is, Zenny. What is that? I don't know what that means. Hypan sister.
She's asking Pep that question.
Oh, okay. And then he said they're from the 236, 200 high end, 100 for low end for the super whites. Oh, if it's a bristlenose, I don't want those. No, they're definitely not bristlenose. They've got a stripe. They're some kind of striped little creature. Oh yeah, and then Pep.
I shouldn't have even said that.
Oh,
I
you're
am not.
fine. This
I
is how
don't
we
do.
learn.
There's Kenny.
Did Kenny show up?
Yep. I was just asking him the questions. If he sells any of those bristlenose. I'm not bristlenose, the super whites.
Yeah, I know he does. But I don't know if he's got any for sale at the moment. But he and I were talking, I don't know, maybe a month ago. And then Pep said they are, and not bristlenose. And yes, any. And June said bingo. Apparently something happened. Oof, I fell way behind doing that. Aquaballs is here. Hey, bud. Haven't seen you in
Hey,
forever
man.
today.
Hey, George.
Do you
George is
use
one of my heroes.
CO2? I do not. Nice. I would like to get more tanks, but the wife said if another tank comes in, something must go out. I think she was
Wow.
thinking it was him.
Talking about herself or him? Does she
Guy
cook good
Ashby's
food?
in the house. Hey, Guy, what's going on, bud? Um, Passing wind. I'm shopping marketplace for ACCO2 regulator. I don't know what that is because I don't do it. June, I don't know if you heard me because you were probably playing bingo, but how do you tell a male from a female Oscar? Is there a way to just visually do it, or do you have to pull them out of the tank and check under their skirt? I have room for another tank. If I move the 300 over, I can get a 650 gallon to fit that wall.
Ooh.
That would be awesome. Or another 775. I don't know what. Did I read that wrong? I have room for another tank. If I move the 300 gallon over, I can get a 650 to fit on the wall. If I go 4 feet deep, it would be a 775. Jesus, that would be sweet.
That's awesome. Kenny just said that he has L236 super whites and RB line.
Okay, I thought that's what they were. I mean, I didn't know they were 236, but I thought he had them for sale. I know he's still
I
working
sent
on a
him.
couple.
I
How
sent
you
him
doing,
your link
Kenny?
just in case he'd like to pop up, but he said his service is bad.
Yeah. Good to see you, even if it's only for a minute. I appreciate it. Pep says Kenny E is the 236 expert. And there I go again, talking with the weird voice.
Oh, these are really a cool fish.
Yeah, they are. I love them. They hide though. They are kind of hiders. He's got nothing but lag. Sorry, bud.
They're
Aquaball
cool.
says I have been busy with my saltwater tank. There's so much more to learn in saltwater hobby than fresh. Yeah, that's my problem. I don't want to learn. I have no interest in saltwater. There's some cool looking fish, but yeah, so you have to vent. Females can have a black spot on the dorsal fin 90% of the time. A black spot.
Like an egg spot.
Yeah. Dorsal isn't the dorsal the one on the top? Isn't that the dorsal like on a shark that sticks
Oh,
out of their
yeah.
mouth?
That's true. That's weird. It's not an egg spot. That's neat. I wonder if Peplin's sitting on his tractor pretending like he's a cowboy.
No, it sounds like he's at the lake.
Oh, he's at the lake. So's
That's why it's.
Kenny's at the lake.
Oh, you said Peplin. Sorry.
Yeah, Peplin bought a tractor that he keeps in his garage so he can sit on it and look cool.
I know he was teasing Kenny. He said, "Don't even get near it."
Yeah,
You'll
Kenny
just,
probably would have cut his fingers off.
you're right. He didn't hurt himself. Guy Ashby says, local fish store just got some black rams in. Unfortunately, they're all females. Regardless to say,
Oh,
needless to say, I got me a black ram.
well, they probably do that on purpose.
Yeah, they don't want you bleeding them on them.
Yeah, your best bet would be to go to another pet store and see if they sent them just males. Because they'll do that with guppies a lot. They'll send all the females to one store and then the males to the other. The problem is it's hard to tell the males or the line of guppy.
Well, Peplin
You
says
know?
he sees his all the time, so maybe they're not hiders like I thought. But every time Kenny has like it does a video on them, they're under the driftwood and in the little caves. So I just
Well,
assumed. You know what happens when you assume me?
Peplin, though, he's hands on. So he's probably putting his hands in there and pulling them out and looking
Yeah,
at them and
just
rubbing
taking
them
all.
in.
Yeah, giving him a big old smooch on the big old mouth.
Yeah, cleaning them off with his tongue.
Passing Wind says that Pleco is made of cake.
Ooh, cake.
Passing Wind also says Pep has a bad ass tractor. If I had that, I would be digging a moat. Yeah, I hear that.
Me too.
And then Pep said, I already dug a big pond and working on a second, which will be for koi.
That's awesome. I've never drove a tractor. I'm forklift certified.
I
I have
am
my
not certified, but I've driven. I worked in a factory where I drove a forklift all the time, like every day.
you had to have your CSL to be able to drive in a UAW shop.
Yeah,
You know,
this
there's
was
just
back
too
in
many
the '80s,
people.
so I don't even know if you had to be certified for them back then, but maybe you did.
I mean, we had to watch videos every other year for tripping hazards. And it was the same video, and it was like made in the 60s. And they had like a pencil on the ground, and they would like, watch out, Mike, there's a tripping hazard. And it was a pencil on the floor, and it was like
Oh yeah.
every 2 years. And then we'd have to fill out the questions. And it was true, false, and every single one of them was true.
So it really made
So
you
you could just put
challenge.
TTTTT and then turn it in and sign it. And it's just so stupid.
George, we I just had them up on the screen because oh my gosh, I've already forgotten who was talking about those. Was it Alishon? No, somebody had just was talking about the no 3G. It was 3G, right?
I don't know. I
Was
missed
talking
it.
about the pink angels, the glow angels.
Oh, oh, I don't remember who was actually talking about them. I was just looking
Yeah,
at
and
them.
see, oh my goodness, we're just bad. But yeah, Aquaball says that they just got some in at the local pet store. He must have done a video or posted a picture or something. Kenny says it's not my fault. It's where he's at that it's choppy.
How it jumps in StreamYard, I only get to read 5 lines and it goes real quick. And I was reading, yo, Peplin has a nice tractor, but and then it jumped and I started reading 3Gs and I read full trips on something behind them. And I'm like, with his tractor? It jumped so fast. It was like in mid sentence.
3G, we actually had 2 accidents that happened almost within, definitely in the same week. I think it might have been within a day or two of each other, not where I am, but within the company. So down in Texas or somewhere down south where they were backing a truck up. We have to use assistance They're just to make sure that we don't run somebody over. Well, in the act of trying to keep from running somebody over, the dude fell down, and the truck operator, the driver, just assumed he was clear, and he backed right over top of him, just drove right up on top. I'm like, hey, I mean, neither guy died, I don't believe, but there was some serious injuries, so I shouldn't be laughing. But it was he's only a fool, but sometimes apparently it happens.
We had 3 major incidents all in 1 year. Up in a Detroit plant, a girl with a ponytail got her hair caught in the line and got scalped. It
I've heard of
literally
that happening.
pulled, but we've got this yellow line that goes, you got one up high and one down low, but you pull it and you only have to pull it like 2 inches and the whole line shuts down. I literally shut the line down once because it got snagged on my belt buckle. So it doesn't take much.
Right.
I also once in the 20 years shut it down because my broom fell off the wall and hit it. So that's how the line shuts down. But what happens is whenever the line shuts down, you got to run and check everybody. I was a safety guy. So you got to make sure that nobody's stuck in it, that it was just a freak accident. 90% of them were all just freak accidents. But, well, actually, everyone was a freak accident where I was. I never had anybody get hurt. But that girl got her hair pulled off. And then there were 2 Baylor incidents. You know what Baylors are?
Yep.
But these were balers that would chop everything up into little squares, not just squished. In our factory, we just had a squisher for the cardboard, but this one would actually cut.
Like
they had one in Toronto where this guy had cancer, and if you died in the plant, your life insurance was doubled. So he jumped into the shredding baler.
Oh my God!
First, and it's not fast. He jumped in at feet first and shredded his whole body. And his family didn't get the insurance because you can't do suicide.
Right. Yeah, that was
yeah. And then
poorly thought out.
The guy down in Texas, we had a guy get put into a shredder that like months apart, really close timing, and was mounted to nothing. So they said everybody now has to wear gloves. It turned out, we found out like 2 years later, it was the cartel had grabbed some Mexican guy that didn't work none of them worked at the factory. It happened when the factory was shut down, and they put the guy in there to make a thing. So they ground him into nothing. And for the longest time, they didn't know which UAW employee had been ground up.
Ugh.
And it wasn't. It was somebody that the cartel threw in there.
Jesus.
But, I mean, such a nasty job because they have to go through it all and say, this is human, this is car part, this is human, this is a car part.
Yeah. That's not fun.
No.
I wouldn't want to be that guy. I hadn't do that.
They said they made the engineers do it.
What?
But I would imagine
it's not their fault.
That was the one in Detroit. They had the engineers do it, but I would imagine they'd have the FBI do the one in Dallas because it wasn't. I mean, they had video camera of the guys. They knew it was a murder because he was being stuffed in it. But they thought it was like union guys stuffing another union guy in. So they didn't want to let the union know what was going on. But yeah. Am I frozen or is Whip frozen? I hope Whip's frozen because I just told a great story. Uh-oh. I bet I'm frozen because I don't see any typing either. Oh, Whip's frozen. Good. So yeah, Zen, don't cross any of the cartels while you're down there in Texas. Oh, now I'm like the guy. Look at how pretty this thing looks. And it's super bright outside. It's It's not. It doesn't feel too hot though, considering. I'm on the sun porch and the windows are open. Uh, it's 86 degrees. I think I'm like becoming adapted to the heat. It's really weird because any type of humidity I used to die, and now humidity doesn't bother me hardly at all. Oh no, we're both frozen.
I'm not.
Are you frozen, Whip?
I'm good.
Bye, Toro. Well, did you hear my awesome story about the cartel doing that?
Yeah. I caught almost all of it. I just lost the last couple minutes, or the last minute or so.
They wouldn't let us know that it was what the deal was because they thought it was union guys throwing another union guy in there, and they're trying to figure out who the union guy was and who the guys that did it, and it wasn't. It was all outside people.
Yeah, that's terrible.
But how did the security not catch it?
It's amazing. So, did you catch what Zenny was talking about? Aquashella, he was talking to Zenny. I'll never get them. They are $35 each. I did a post, the quick short on his channel. Oh, talking about those glow light angelfish. Kenny, I did. I watched that. I did watch that. I watched it when it was live, I think. Oh no, it wasn't live, was it? Oh shit, I don't know.
I paid more for angels.
That was last weekend. Yeah, I usually pick them up. Well, I got 3, or I got 5 from Pep. I only have 1 left. I lost 2 right away. They were, because when he sent them, they were minuscule, like the size of a nickel. And then 3 of them grew out. And then I lost 2 of those unexpectedly when that tank went sideways. That was a bummer.
Did you know Spaghetti Nonio was at Pep's party?
I did. I knew Danny was there. Danny, who the hell's Kenny? Kenny was there, and then Spaghetti was there, and Shane was there from Shane's Tanks and Bowls, and there was somebody else. Jeff Kane was there, I believe. Yes, Jeff Kane was definitely there. I remember seeing him there. Who am I forget? Well, I know there was somebody else.
Next year, if you want, you could remind me and we could try to go. Because I think it'd be really cool to go to Wisconsin again and get some cheese and take pictures of some barns that have that. My mom loves the barns that have that, the quilting, the wood quilting. Let's see. See these barn pictures she has above me up there? They're paintings that she got in Wisconsin. You can't really see them.
Yeah, it's tough to see.
But she has them all across the place. She wants me to make one of those for the house. And it's like nobody in Tennessee is not going to know what you're doing, but
hey everybody, perhaps you should take Alliston to Monster Magnet. Song Tractor. You made me laugh out loud here. Zenny says, George, I know lots are anti-glow, but I'm not one of those people. I am not anti-glow. I just don't want one. I mean, it's not like I would, if somebody were to say, here, have this. I mean, I wouldn't be like, oh my God, that is so unethical, blah, blah, blah. I just don't.
I tell you, I didn't think that they would be nearly as healthy as they are, but my moms have done amazing. The blue ones both died, but and she had one of the green or the pink ones get egg bound and died. But otherwise, both the greens or yellows and one pink in there are still doing great. Actually, she never had blue. She had purple. The purples died. And I'm betting it was more genetic related.
Could be. Especially if the rest of them are doing fine. Yeah.
Yeah.
Passing Wind says that guy is lucky his head did not pop like a grape under the Cadillac under a Cadillac wheel.
Are you talking about Meatloaf? I think Meatloaf had a Volkswagen run over his head.
I think he was talking about the guy that got ground up in your.
Oh, the shredder ones would mostly
Shredder.
be like bad. Anything soft in the car goes into the shredders. So like dashboards, headliners, the carpet on the floor. Car seats cost so much. The prior car not, but all sorts of material like that, cardboard, that type of things would get shredded. So no metal went into those.
Just
They're
bone.
probably looking for the metal grinder, but I think they just drop all the scrap metal into a train and just they have train
Right.
cars that come through all the factories.
Yep.
Because
I've seen
the
those. as they go
factories
down.
have coal. GM factories actually have their own power plants with coal burning power plants. So the whole city of St. Louis could be out of power and they'd still be running. Amazing. They had their own fire department.
Really. Coro Quirky says some of the best practical effects I've seen were in OSHA training videos. I don't know. They use some pretty hokey things though. It's like the '70s when they would do blood on the streets for the kids learning to drive. Passing Wind says in the early '80s I worked for a company where I was the lead actor in a whole bunch of safety films. Really?
That's awesome.
That is awesome. Forever remembered.
Yeah.
3G. Did three blind mice play when the line stopped?
No. There you'd hear sirens everywhere.
Yeah, I'm sure.
every manager in the front office would come running out too, because when you have downtime, it's like money.
Yep, right.
Away. So
Where's my
it's
money
like,
going?
we gotta find who's hurt.
Passing Wind says big companies have huge budgets for entertainment and safety for some reason. Well, I don't know about the entertainment, but definitely the safety. Most companies, especially in today's world, they push safety, 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 safety. And then if your production drops, they're like, "What are you doing? You should be working harder."
and then I think ours had a lot, but it really, like, our first general manager was amazing. I mean, he paid for softball leagues, bowling leagues, he paid for picnics. He did so much for us. He gave us great bonuses that were just in-house bonuses for attendance, and he was just a super great guy, and everybody loved it. And then the guy who replaced him cut everything. And like they sent us a thing after like 5 years, and we were the lowest morale factory in America. Well, GM factory in America.
Right.
And it was because of our plant manager was just not a great guy.
A Deutschbag.
Yep. He literally at summer vacation, like they have a shutdown in July, and he would always address the people for a meeting beforehand, like a barbecue type thing. And he said, "Well, don't get too drunk over the 4th of July." And that's really what you're going to say to all your employees. Don't get too drunk. That's how he felt about us, I guess.
A bunch of drunks.
Well. Yeah.
Yeah, there's people like that. Then Corky says, "Are you Klaus Passing Wind? Klaus, the forklift operator?" I don't know what that means, but it's probably from the safety. I never did that. I never had to take any training. They put me up on a forklift and said, "Here you go. Have fun."
Well,
and then
full-time
I almost
forklift
rolled
drivers.
it.
The full-time forklift drivers, they would make them take like a class every couple of years, even like
Yeah,
outside of the factory.
nowadays they do, but thank you, baby. Back in the 80s, I never, they just kind of wound you up and let you go.
I was a shop steward, so I was like trained everywhere because like if there was a position not filled, you have like relievers everywhere, but sometimes the reliever didn't show up and the reliever from another department couldn't help. So then the shop stewards would relieve them. So I had to learn every position in the house pretty much. So
Then he says, "Whip is frozen," and then Mickham says, "Or very focused."
I never did welding. I
I
never
never
got
did
welding
either.
certified.
I did a welding. We
I was
had
also
welding.
never on the spill team.
We had a welding class in shop, and I watched a guy drop a molten ball of steel down onto his shoe, and it ate through his shoe into his foot. Like, I mean, it happened like that. He couldn't get that shoe up fast enough, and it was not good. So I shied away from that.
That happened to my brother in high school.
That's what
The
I'm saying in high school. Yeah.
it went right through his table because they have like a safety table that they stand at. It melted through that and then went through his steel toe shoe and burned the top of his foot, and he had to have a skin graft. But he comes home and he's got his foot, like my mom notices at 7 o'clock at night, he's sitting on the couch with his foot in the air with all his band-aids on it or wrapped up. She's like, "What's the matter with your foot?" And she took it off and she wigged out because he's like missing skin. I mean, it's like a hole like that. And the nurse said, "Come back tomorrow and we'll look at it." Well, my mom took him straight to the emergency room. He was in the hospital for like 2 or 3 weeks with a skin graft.
Really?
Yeah, he was. I mean, we'll have to ask him on D&D. Maybe it was only a week. I don't know. But I mean, he had. I mean, maybe it's gone smaller over the years, but it was like this big of a spot right on top
Yeah.
of his foot.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's what happened to this kid. It sounds like the same injury. It went down. They said the hole, the skin around the hole that it left was third degree. They don't even. I don't think they even had a name for what the damage was where the molten steel was resting.
Well, he must have kicked it off because I don't think it went through his. It didn't go into his bones and
Right.
ligaments and stuff.
Same.
So maybe when it hits that skin, you kick it off so fast, but it's still. Skin grafts are pretty serious.
Yeah. Yep. We had two pretty serious accidents. That one, and then we were working a horizontal milling machine, and that's where the blade, it's about this wide, and it just spins so that when you feed the material in, this was steel, it would just, depending on where you set it, it would shave the steel down to the height you wanted. And the shop teacher really wasn't watching, but he had said, you want to, are you frozen? Or are you just, you're good. I
I'm
see
just
you blinking.
listening.
He says, you
I'm
take
sorry.
the shop towel on the back side, so if it's spinning this way, you don't want to put the towel in over here. You put it over here to knock the shavings off so they don't come back around and damage the new polished steel. Well,
Oh,
this kid did it on the wrong side, and of course that blade is spinning faster than the human brain can react, and it pulled his hand in, and it took this finger off like down to here, and he just slaps his hand on it. And this is, we're probably sophomores in high school and pretty naive still, and he's walking around going, I think I just cut my effing finger off. And he wasn't saying effing, he was swearing. And I'm like, oh my God, you just said the F word in front of the teacher. You can't say it. That's my thought process. Meanwhile,
and
he's
then
like,
the teacher goes,
yeah. Right. And so the teacher walks over and he's like, what is going on? And he goes, I think I just, and he's like, his face went, wow, just white face, grabbed him out the door. They went. A buddy of mine, whose name was Keith, we were pulling the finger, because it was just ground up into little tiny pieces.
Oh,
And we put it in a petri dish. And the paramedic came down and he's looking in there and he goes, did anybody see the finger? We're going to see if we can attach it. And I slid him the petri dish and I'm like, that's not going back on. And he looked at it. He's like, oh, God, nope. But he took it, so it wasn't down in the class. But yeah, that was was a thing. Both times it was in the same guy's class. I'm like, this guy. What? Oh. I probably should drop this class.
Well, my poor dad. I missed one of my Thursday night streams last year because my dad cut the end of his finger off on the chainsaw, or not on the table saw. Or maybe I don't know if it was the finger but it wasn't the nail still there, but I think it missed, like it took the little tip of his bone off his thumb or his pointer. So it like ground, like if this is the saw, he would like just put the bottom part on, but the top part stayed, and he never even lost his nail.
Oh no.
But he says he doesn't have the much feeling in the end of his finger anymore.
Yeah, I imagine that.
But I feel really bad because, like, every time I use this table saw, I have him help me.
Hey, come here. Back to the scene of the crime.
This is just forever. I've always had him there to grab the piece of wood or, whenever I use his table saw. I very seldomly use the table saw by myself. And I think it's probably from high school. I don't know. And then I make him, or he didn't tell me, and he did it and got cut. So, like, if I would have been there, maybe I could have shimmied it at whatever he was doing. I don't know.
Right. Yeah. Woulda, coulda, shoulda, right?
Well, I guess I did all the siding for our 3 houses when we built our houses in Missouri, and all my job was table saw cutting. We had 2 teams to wrap because we did vinyl wrap on the houses, and we'd have 3 guys on this side and 3 on this side. Well, that's actually when we got to my house, because what I did was I recruited union guys from the factory.
Oh, okay.
So I had a union crew and then my family crew, and they met in the middle. And my job was to cut all the angles, and I would do it in the garage. And then whatever the scrap was, I would do the angle and I would measure it. And I had all my different sizes and everything. So sometimes I wouldn't have to cut it. I could just tell them, that's a stack of 6s, that's a stack of 5s, or we've got 90-degree cuts over here, And I was just a cutting machine on that table saw during those.
Right. Well, you get in a groove.
Yeah, and it was good that I did my sister's house and my mom and dad's first before I did mine, because I did my whole house in one day. Theirs, we took about 3 days because it was just the, one team of 3 guys putting it up and me cutting. But when I had 6 guys go, man, I had to really cut. But I was very efficient by then.
Passing Winds talking about old people and laying out in the sun. Kenny says he's heading into an area with no service, so he'll see us later. Thanks to you and me. Wendy says you would see the old people wearing heavy-duty bathrobes and pajamas in 99-degree heat, saying it's chilly. That's never good.
Well, you've outlived my mom and dad, they like it hot.
Hello, my fishy friends. Nathan's here. Hey, buddy.
Hey, Nate.
Someone come mow my lawns today, please. I will say, Zenny says, I will say my glow betta only lasted a month when my betta usually lasts about 2 years at least. Yeah,
bettas don't look healthy. They do not look healthy.
I mean, even regular ones are tough to keep alive these days. I can't even imagine what the glow ones are like. 3G
I think I did a pretty good job painting that are gluing that nose on.
Yeah. They're kept in a sterile environment and have trouble adapting. Could be. Corky says the angle grinder safety film is really solid. The way they have the disc brake and explode at 5,000 RPMs into his face. Happy.
Well,
What happened at Ola?
I cut all the plastic for my fish tank lids. And I hate it when sometimes it breaks off and shoots a piece at me. I always wear my safety goggles.
It's a good idea.
My
3G
eyes
says,
don't work that good, but I definitely want to keep them.
3G says he worked at GM, and when the line stopped, Three Blind Mice would play and the suits would come out in force.
Well,
That must have been like the signal that everything was down.
It's hilarious to see them all come running out.
Jenny says, Craig, that's possible. I also think they're likely not handled well. When they're trying to get a new batch out into the public, and so many going out so quickly. I'm sure quality care is lacking. Yep. Just keep pumping them out there. People keep buying them. Jenna P's here. Good morning. My Friday meeting just ended, and you're still going. Yep. Johnny No Shoes over there at my aquariums. Jesus, now I forgot his. My Fish Tanks Aquatics. Isn't going to be able to go live for a while, so I figured we'd just go long. I need the watch hours anyway. So Jenny says Jenna. Corky says Jenna. Danny says Jenna. Passing Wind says, don't you remember a time when you didn't have anything like a copay for your insurance? You just walked into the doctor and they fixed you. Yeah, I don't really remember that. I seem like I've always had to pay.
Well, when you have a mom and dad, that's how it was.
Yeah, right. Yeah, right. Well, I didn't know how it worked then.
I don't have copays now. It's pretty awesome. I've got TinCare that takes care of my copays. It's pretty awesome. My state really takes care of me.
Oh, Pep. Yeah, knucklehead. He says, I have a lot of scars on my feet from welding in Crocs.
Oh.
That's not smart, man. Jenny says, I just noticed Ed is wearing bubbles. I wore my bubbles shirt yesterday, wearing my mid-roll shirt today. Myrtle. I got his coffee cup right here.
I have his music somewhere. I don't know where I put it.
Hagen Hill. Hey, Hagen Hill. I don't know which one of you it is, so I'm just going to stick with Hagen Hill or Hagen. And those are great stories during my lunch break. It doesn't bother me.
That's awesome. Who worked at GM also?
3G.
3G. I wonder what state? What factory?
Oh, that they were there. They were both the Huggins were at Pep's place. I don't know if you ever answered.
Oh, that's awesome. We could bring some Haagen-Dazs ice cream.
And I think Kenny may have gone home by now, but he was in town in Illinois or Wisconsin, I think, for the majority of this week. He was visiting family.
He's still there because we can't do a show tonight. He's not going to be in this weekend. Because I was hoping to do a draft on Sunday, but he won't be able to do it.
Who, Kenny?
Yeah. Oh, was that the Shreveport plant?
I'm not down that far, so.
Louisiana 10 plant. That's 10 plant. I think that's Shreveport.
Speaking of table saw, that reminds me of a discount. of the discount Mohel. I don't know what that is, but Nathan says it looks amazing. That's
Thank you, sir. I really like how it came out. I'm just hoping that it won't be too hard. You know, when I baked it on this fake tube,
get it off.
I hope it's not going to be too hard to break off. I was thinking maybe I'd add some heat and just squeeze it, and it might just pop right off. Or I paint the inside with a spray paint black, and then paint the other with the concrete, and just make it. Would this be a good tube though? Because it seems so long for how thin it is. It's only 1.5 inches thickness. Might be what. Ooh, sorry, I burped. It might be way too long of a tube. I think it's about a 10-inch tube.
Right.
All right, 8-inch. I was hoping to put it on like the normal ones.
Yeah. Because like you were saying, it might be too deep for, you'd never get the eggs out of there if you were trying to. Jenna says medical insurance hack. When you spend enough at the doctor in 1 year, they don't make you pay any more copays. That means you've had something go sideways pretty bad.
Well,
Better to be
I
able
had
to
a great.
pick off a crock when it's a piece of molten steel. Oh, it jumped. Falls in. If you have boots, gets trapped and fires. Oh, yeah, it fries your foot. That's what happened to us. Because back in the 80s, you guys remember, and I still have the tradition, at least at the old whip house, is we wore high tops all the time. And high tops do not just kick off. I mean, they're not as bad as boots, but there's a little effort involved.
I bet you Zen Ginger can kick her boots off fast.
Oh, what are you saying?
I'm saying that if you walked into her house and she's wearing boots, she could probably shoot a boot right into your face and knock you out across the room. You know, just kind of whoosh,
Quick draw.
like whack.
Zenny says maybe
They can do amazing things with their boots.
maybe Hagen or Hagen is pronounced haggis, and you're all wrong. Peplin, I think Crocs are the official welding shoe boot. You got to put them in 4-wheel drive to make them safety Crocs.
I wonder if when he's sitting on his tractor in his garage, if he's wearing his Crocs. He's probably like, look at me, Foxy, look at me.
In Crocs and nothing else. Schwabsport, Louisiana, S10. Then Colorado and Canyon with H32 as well.
Yeah.
Too.
I feel bad because we stole their Colorados.
Dathan said it looks about the same size as Danny's medium caves. Yeah, I think it's longer though. Zenny says, yes, I vote black on the inside, concrete stone on the inside, and I think it would be great for smaller plecos, panda, gara, and loaches to play and hide in. I should be highlighting that so you can see how badly I read. I have to pull the heel off a bit first and then yes, I can hit a target. Probably 50 feet away.
I bet. I wore my cowboy boots. I had to play Santa last week. My mom had a quilting Christmas in July party, and I had to play Santa. So I wore a white and I'll show you. Unfortunately, the photo I did doesn't have my boots and shorts in it very well because they made it really funny.
So Jenna,
and I'm going to show you. the
Go
bird
ahead.
that my last name is in a minute.
Ah. Jenna said in
Uh,
2014, I had lots of appointments and tests prior to having our son, then a C-section, then 3 months later, our son had surgery, and then monthly specialist checkups. Oh, yeah. So you hit your quota pretty fast, I would imagine.
I my old insurance, UAW insurance for teeth, was $2,500 a year. Up, and then you had to pay whatever above that. There was
Right.
no co-fee. It just, and so I made a deal with my dentist. You can charge all you want up to that point every year, but if it goes over, you just take it from the years before. And he would like paint my teeth white or clear, and I think that's why I haven't had a cavity since, because I've had all sorts of teeth work that was for free. Well, not for free, but
Yeah, I mean, he got paid for it. It's too bad there's not an aquarium safe glazing. A dark glaze would look great on that, is what J Rock said. Peplin says, all I wear is Crocs.
my last name is this bird.
Yeah, I still
This is
can't
a
spell your last name.
lapwing. It's a lapwing bird, but Cheka is in Czech is this bird.
Cheka?
That's my
That's
last
how,
name. It's
that's how you say it?
Chekka. Yep,
Cheka. I
Cheka.
I've never even attempted it because I looked at it and I said, yeah, he's Ed.
Well, my whole life, and we've always thought it was like because we just knew my grandma just said, "Oh, Cheka means small or little bird." It means little bird. So we always thought it was a finch, or something like that. And last night I decided just to look it up, and that's what it is. Unfortunately, those birds aren't in North America,
Ah.
but it's a real pretty bird.
Jenna
I
says, I
think it's
think
a
we met our
ground bird.
max pay by July. So she had the rest of the year insurance picking it up. Very pretty, though.
What some people would do is they would, like, if they had to have teeth pulled, they would go in and get their teeth pulled like the last couple days of December, and then have the replacements put in the first couple days in January.
So 3G says, do you wear socks with your Crocs, Pep? And he says, only when I'm going somewhere fancy. Ed, how long is the pipe? Danny's caves are 7 inches long and medium opening is around 1.5 inches. I just measured them.
Oh, I've got my fishing stick, literally. It's exactly 8 inches long.
Okay, so just a little too long. And that's probably an inch and a half opening?
Yep. Well, maybe I'll just do that. We'll just paint the whole thing. But I can't have this white in there.
Yeah, and I don't know how because now that you can't even do the spray paint trick because you'll get it all over your guy.
Well, I'll have to cover him real good.
How come was one of those fins broke off? Is that what happened? Is that why one's kind of down and one's up?
Yeah, one broke off in the
Oh man.
thing. But I don't want them to look perfect either, because it's a statue.
Oh,
So
okay.
I like things looking messed up. Like even this eye has a big dent on one side, and I just think it looks better that way. Symmetry doesn't work in art.
No, not really. You're right. That's true.
Let's do this. I'm gonna paint the whole dang thing.
Wendy
I
says,
guess
"Oh,
I could
come on."
paint the
He
inside.
actually complains about 8 inches.
Well,
I would.
apparently Zen Ginger is all upset about it.
Wendy, sorry, was making some coffee, and it's pretty much just my kids I'm aiming at daily. So feel free to get in the queue.
What did passing wind say? Should I paint it? I'm going to paint it, passing wind.
I don't know what passing wind said, other than, come on, who's really complaining about 8 inches? Zen,
Who
is
else
there
is
a
here?
line for being pelted by by a boot?
I always
Hog
wondered
in.
how.
Hagen. Zen is right. Hagen, like in Haagen-Dazs. It's Katie's last name. Hill is Jake's last name. That doesn't help me with who this is. Is it Jake or is it Katie?
Is Katie somebody I used to play soccer with in second grade? She was the best goalie in the world.
I would guess probably not. Although maybe,
Oh,
because I mean they must be close enough to make it to Peplin's, and you were in Illinois for a while.
well, that was Kansas City. That'd be even closer to you.
Well, no, Pep is
Eh,
up north.
Katie, did you go to Graydon Elementary School in Parkville, Missouri?
Wait, what now? Ed Oinky said she loved her present, but I never heard what it was. I had to run before the end. Did you ever tell people what you got made her?
I didn't make anything for her this year. Last year I made her the helmet, but I want to make her the whole suit. But I got to have her actually try on jumpsuits, like one piece, like work suit. And we can either get it in white, gray, or black, but I'd like to find it in pink. And we get it in white, I'll probably dye it pink. Like I'll dye it on the stove. Have you ever done that? I've done that for like when I was the Hulk, I wanted super bright purple pants, so I bought white pants at the uh thrift store, and then I dyed it purple, so it looked just like the comic book purple.
Nice.
A lot of people don't realize this, but the reason why like his pants were purple and he was green was because he was originally gray, but you couldn't see it with the inks. So they made him green because you can see green ink easy in the comic books.
Oh, really?
Yep.
I was unaware.
Like Snake
Jamie?
Eyes and G.I. Joe in the comic books is always blue because black doesn't show up good on comic book ink.
Nathan says, I have to go back to work, but I don't think 8 inches is too much. That's what she said.
Well, that's awesome. Ah! I got some on my hands.
Somewhat. What are you doing? I can't see.
Um, I got some concrete paint on my wrist.
Oh, it's there forever.
It's burning. It's not really burning.
Wendy says there was a period of time when the Hulk was gray, and only at night he became a guy called Joe Fixit, and he was a mobster, took over Las Vegas. Never heard of that. That must have been before I started following.
And he looked just like this. That's the Gray Hulk. That's him. Are you amazed that I had that as you talked about it?
All right.
This is going to be Big Steve when I paint his skin white or flesh tones. And I'm going to give him a goatee.
Then he says, "Oh, okay. I heard you guys talking about the jumpsuit. Have you have you considered looking for a pink Power Ranger jumpsuit and modifying it into what you want?"
She doesn't do spandex. She doesn't like the spandex feel.
Yeah, but
So
it would be under, right? Oh, she doesn't like the feel. Well, that would it didn't matter
yeah,
then.
I've got to attach, and spandex would be hard to attach all the stuff to also because you have to attach all the armor to it. And so it's easier for me to like use rivets and things to attach it to a work suit, a onesie work suit. That's what I did with my
And guess who's here?
Mandalorian suit. Is it Oinky? It is Oinky.
Hi everyone. I'm still in a partial birthday bliss coma. My nephew Jameson wants to say hi to all. Hi, Jameson.
Hi, Jameson. I can't wait till I get to meet him someday.
So I figure we're
Yeah,
going to go another half hour if anybody even cares at this point, but we'll kind of give it an end point here. If unless we run out of things to say, and then we might end in 4 minutes.
I can't wait to find out what type of gun she would like to have.
What kind of guns like my little guy wants?
Well, with the Mandalorians, they all have like different types of guns and stuff they specialize in.
Oh, Oinky.
I hope I can, yeah, I hope I can talk her into like something like a plasma, because that would be really cool. Because then I could put lights in it. I think that'd be super cool.
Wendy says
I'm gonna,
the kid has his own drink named after him.
huh,
Jameson is my best bud's kid's name too.
whoa. It already looks better.
Yep, most definitely.
You know what? We might just coat it with concrete on the inside. And not
Now,
worry about spray paint.
is that going all the way back in there, or can you still see a little white back up in there? Oh yeah, looks good.
It really does. I don't know why, but when it was white, it just carried the light right through it. But now it just, I mean, I only went about 3 inches in, but it makes the back look all dark now. Crazy.
Crazy, crazy for feeling lonely.
Wow.
Pretty good.
Maybe after I get done doing Oinky's outfit, we'll make you an outfit.
Huh? What?
And you could be a Mandalorian bard and use a ukulele and sing songs. It would be hilarious though, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it would.
They like to do a Mandalorian walk at a lot of the shows where all the Mandalorians, because there's so many people that go as Mandalorians now, they'll get like all 50 of the Mandalorians to walk through the show one by one. And that'd be hilarious if we could teach you like
Play a little tune that everybody can walk to.
yeah. Everybody would feel healed and refreshed as you walk by.
I heard it too, Wendy. I heard it. I just didn't go there. Oinky says, "Whoops, World, was just telling Jameson that you were the very first person I told how I felt about Ed. At first, the words
Uh-oh.
were,
He hasn't told me yet what you said.
No, I'm a Volt man. I don't tell anybody anything.
I hope it's
At
not
first,
bad.
the words were difficult to express. Thank you always for making it easier for me to do. Well, of course. And Miss Dee Dee's here.
Oh,
She didn't get to go. Well, I don't think she generally goes live with Foxy today. Foxy didn't get to go today. I hope
well, what the
everything's
hey?
okay. What's that?
I said, what the hey? She's probably
What
on the tractor doing the work that Peplin should do.
What's Miss Dee Dee doing today? Is she doing anything fun and exciting we can all live vicariously through?
She's always doing something awesome.
I know. Well, she's an awesome person. And then Oinky says, actually, I think the kid is named after the drink.
Probably a lot more kids should be.
Oh, she had a breakfast date with TJ Autocross and Todd.
What?
Yeah, how cool is that?
Wish I could have a breakfast date with TJ Autocross, the famous race car driver.
And Jenna is either a little behind in the show, or it just took her a second to because she asked the exact same question.
I wonder if you're probably the one behind, but
it could be. Yeah, it could be. Nope, she just said, well, I guess you answered my question before I finished typing.
oh,
We met him for breakfast on his way back to New Jersey. And by new, she said new.
wow. She is the luckiest girl in town. I wonder if
Or
she got to
he
see
is
his
the
race
luckiest
car.
boy.
Who is?
Maybe he's the luckiest boy.
Oh, he probably has other awesome fans like her.
There's nobody awesome like her.
Not even Dee Dee?
I mean, she set the bar pretty high.
Yeah. Sorry, Dee Dee. But Dee Dee, you're kind of like a bridesmaid. You'll always be second best, and we love you. See, that's what you just did to poor Dee Dee.
Who, me or you?
I was just saying what you were thinking.
No, yeah, that's the exact opposite of what I said.
You said nobody is like Foxy.
Oh, Foxy. Did you say Foxy or Dee Dee?
Foxy.
Oh,
Did Foxy eat dinner with
no, Dee Dee
TJ?
did.
Oh. Well, Dee Dee eats with everybody. Well, I was thinking maybe he had a race car event like in Wisconsin or something.
3G's like, had to Google Mandalorian. Apparently 3G doesn't give a crap about Star Wars.
Well, neither do I anymore.
Yeah.
I like the old stuff, but I'm going to be anti-new stuff for here on out.
Am I back? I was locked for a minute. And Dee Dee says,
I see you.
yep, Dee Dee's with everybody.
Well, that's why we love you, Dee Dee.
Oh, man.
Dee Dee, are you going to be at the Clash this year?
What? Oh, what? Oh, with. Miss Dee Dee, are you going to the Clash, or are you gonna do like an every other year, or whenever you're just feeling it kind of thing?
I'll respect your decision.
I'm not
no
reading
matter
that, Greg. She must be going because she's going to eat with more people at the Clash.
Nice.
She is going. And Adam
really don't
McReynolds
care.
is here. Hey, Adam, what's going on, Captain?
Oh my God, we were just talking about him earlier today.
No, I was talking about the guy that has a similar name that was at Aquashella. I don't believe.
Yeah, but I
Adam
thought you were talking about this guy.
Oh, yeah. There's a Malcolm Reynolds, and then there's Adam McReynolds.
And then there's Richard.
Yes. Super
Okay,
cool.
we're just gonna set it down and let it dry.
Let it dry.
And
And he says, "You know how my brain works."
You're a woman. We have no idea. We'll just nod our head. This is the best we can do. Yes, dear, whatever restaurant you want. And then start naming them all. Why do
Captain
girls do that?
McReynolds says, "Doing well, getting getting things ready for our Clear the Shelters campaign that NBC is putting on from August 10th through September 10th." Wow. Wanky says, "Actually, I think I would be I would be one the closest to where I live in proximity to have breakfast with TJ Autocross. The New Jersey meeting where we seen each other at a good, man, I cannot read, is a good at least 2 hours for me." So did she already meet up with him? Or she could meet up with him?
I think she met up with him at at one of their swaps or a meeting once.
Oh,
or
okay.
maybe more, I don't know. And Dennis also is out there too. Dennis is one of her fish buddies. Dennis
Jenny
is awesome.
and probably Alishon too, right? Is Alishon out that way, or is he closer to the Clash?
I don't know.
He might be closer to the Clash. GRB's in. G'day.
Good day. Good day. Good day.
Doing
Good
pretty
day.
well. Doing as well as can be expected.
GRB, am I saying it right? Good day. Good day. Good day. Good day.
I think you need
I
more.
guess I could.
Hey, that's about.
Good day.
Good night.
Good day. Good day. But it seems like whenever I try to speak like an an Australian, I get really much higher pitched and piratey.
Yes, Alishon was
they've
at the
gotta
New
have
Jersey
guys
meeting too. Yeah, I thought he was out that direction. He says it sounds like a true Aussie.
See, GRP is awesome.
He is awesome.
If I could go to one place in the world for free, I would go to Australia. Not to hang out with GRB, just to look at the fish and not the fish, but the pandas and stuff. Not the pandas.
I would struggle with
pandas.
No,
not pandas. Koalas and kangaroos. But I would still like to hang out with GRB. But if I went for a week, I wouldn't want to just hang out in his basement for a week. That kind of defeats the purpose of going to Australia. Unless he would take me out to places to eat the weird food. I would love to try the weird food. I'd like to go to their hardware store and eat the food at the hardware store.
Say I'm taking to eat at your favorite restaurant. Yes.
Ed, oh, okay. I heard you're talking about a jumpsuit. Oh, what? I thought you were reading something about food.
No, that was 3G said, say I'm talking about eat at you favorite restaurant. Yes. Oh, I bet
place,
you that's
she said.
talking to Ed. Eat at your favorite restaurant. Guess. Then say yes to the first place, she said.
Nice.
Okay.
It's like when a woman says a Brazilian dip, you give.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, and it's not. I'm not slamming Oinky because she's wonderful, but like yesterday, we went through 25 different restaurants before my mom said yes to one. It's like just give us a hint on what you like or
Yeah,
want
right.
instead of salad. So at least that
Steven,
helps.
welcome in. And then Adam said Zen, and yes,
Steven.
I'm really excited. Hopefully, we get many adoptions. Adam, that for real probably makes you feel good about humanity a little too. Well, that's usually short-lived because then you open your eyes and see us doing something else that's stupid.
To the animals that they adopt, or what are you trying to say?
No, just people in general are they wreck my humanity, my feel good for humanity as fast as it can come.
Poor man. I can't wait till I can get Whipped. I need to get some green stuff so I can give Whip some hair.
I don't know. I look good with short hair. Maybe I'll do that for real, and we could match me to the little doll.
Will you wear a Rambo thing around your head like that?
I could, although my head's shaped weird. It'd probably pop right off.
I tell you what, I wish to death I could have hair like that. Look, you're like driving your motorcycle trying to catch bugs with your
Yeah,
teeth.
right. And then he says, "Yeah, I didn't say someone on the way home wouldn't ruin it for everyone, but at least while it was going on."
I got to get a baseball hat for poor Skipper here. Let's see if
Steven
I
says,
can just
"Just look
whip
at the
one up.
narrow slice of humanity, and it's all good." Yeah, right. Dee Dee says, "Lola was my first adoption. I love that little lazy dog." I assume
You know,
everybody's seen the short, that little girl, and I don't even know if it's the original soundtrack or whatever, but it's a little girl on a porch that's kind of got a gate across it. So
I want to pet that dog.
yeah, the bear that's trying to. Can I pet that dog? I want to pet that dog. I don't know what I said, but Mrs. Whip has got the oh my God face going on. Maybe that I'm still on with nothing to say.
Oh well.
Yeah,
Tell her to start thinking of a restaurant she wants to eat at.
yeah, start now. We might be we might figure it out by lunch, or I mean dinner.
Oh, wow.
The problem with adopting in mass like that, I think didn't we see that happen during COVID, and then they all kind of came back. Oh, the haircut. And she doesn't like the idea of a haircut.
Oh. She likes her
Like
Fabio looking Fabio.
like during COVID, all these shelters around here emptied out, and then once we all went back to work, they filled right they filled right back up again.
Has she ever seen you with short hair?
She has. I've cut it like twice since we've been married.
Did
Once
she
was
cry
really
every
short.
time?
No, but she looked at me like I was a stranger.
Sometimes that's good to spice up the love life. I'm just making stuff up. I don't know.
June says, "I've lost faith in humanity. What's the effing point?" Yeah, I'm kind of right there with you, girl. Um, And then Zenny said, "But June, who would adopt the kittens?" And she said, "My son."
You know, I don't know if what I did was adopt or kidnap.
You might have to explain a little further.
Well, my cats just showed up on my porch and I accepted them. Both of them at different times.
That's how we got Apollo. It was a weird. I was scaring the crap out of little kids on Halloween, and I'm sitting in my chair waiting for the next group of kids to come in, and a little tiny gray kitten came in mewing, meow, 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 and climbed right up my Holocaust robe and laid down in my lap. And I tapped on the window because the wife was in the house, and she came over. I pointed to my lap, and she immediately came outside, picked up the kitten, didn't say a word, and went right back in the house. And then the cat was there forever. So it's very likely we stole that cat as well. Oinky says, I was describing to Jameson the difference between the Keystone Clash and Aquashella. Aquashella is much more vendor-centric, trade show with guest speakers, and the Clash is the opposite. Do all concur? The Clash has vendors, but it's more swappy. Whereas Aquashella has the bigger name stuff where they don't necessarily sell anything. They just tell you about what you can buy. But there's also vendors that sell. So it's kind of both. It's just Aquashella is so much bigger. Like, so much bigger. I'd be curious to see what they did for attendance this year, just to see how it played against years past, because it seemed light to me. Hey, Mikey B's here. Hey, Mikey B, good to see you this past weekend. He's another one that stopped in. He wasn't supposed to, but he talked Mama into stopping in after her pageant. It was good to see Maritza as well.
Maritza.
Yeah. Shady Grady's back in the house.
I dropped her name in Dungeons and Dragons last week.
Well, only Oscar says her lack of sleep is not helping her situation. Yeah, I hear that. Shady says, hi, Steven. Got the package just now. I will try to do an unboxing video and install video tomorrow. Thanks again. Mexicali came in. Hey, George, what's going on?
Oh, George, you've got a package coming Monday. It's so weird. I ordered 3 trophies for the 4 winners of last year's football. And luckily, Jimmy P won 2 of them. So I only had to buy 3. But I ordered them all the same day. Jimmy's was supposed to come in on Wednesday, but it got delayed, so it came in yesterday. Austin's was yesterday, and yours has been rescheduled till Monday. And it's like, well, that's weird.
Big Steve showed up. Hey, Big Steve. Zenny says, yeah, my cats always show up and adopt me. My last dog did too. She was tiny, about 7-week-old terrier that showed up in our fenced yard on 4th of July, and we didn't know how she got in. Just squeezed right in. Oh, that's getting close. That's almost baseball cap.
It's one of the. Have you ever seen? Oh gosh, I can't think of what the show's called. They're like the gypsy mafia guys in England.
Yeah.
What are those guys called?
She continues with, she was shaking like a leaf, so we took her in and she had multiple puncture wounds on her back. Vet said
Yeah.
likely dropped by a large bird in our yard. Oh my goodness. Because of the fireworks. Wow. Yeah, I know what that it's a derby or something, right?
Well, where's Dennis? He knows the names of all the hats.
Yeah. I think he wears one. Or
Well,
no, he wears
he wears something called a pork chop.
yeah. Oinky says key lime cookies are wonderful. Steven says he's
Oh,
talking
awesome.
about the RODI unit whip. You should set yours up too. I don't have one.
Oinky, send me the picture of the type I bought so I know for the future. Because there was a
I mean,
lot
I
of
have,
different ones to pick from.
but mine does a picture of water, and then it needs hours to regenerate.
I put a ball at the top.
Very nice, very nice.
If I can't find a baseball hat, that's what Skipper is going to get to wear.
Dee Dee says I'd have a couple more pets if I could. Greg says, "Did you bring enough for everyone, Wanky?" Talking about the cookies. Big says, "Imagine getting dropped by an eagle. That would be a crappy way to go. That dog was lucky. Grabbed, I bet you that said. Getting dropped. No, getting dropped by an eagle."
My brother and I were taken off to drive to my grandma's funeral. And a Nico cat, they like drop these kittens off at every house in the country where I live down the road. And like for 2 weeks, there were like 5 of them ran over in the road because the little kittens wandered off into the road and then got hit by people.
Yeah.
But another one of his brothers, we saw this hawk come down, and Tim and I both went, "Oh, check out the hawk." And he went right into a big, tall pile of weeds and came up with a kitten that looked just like Nico at the same time. So, yep, that was sad.
That
A
was
lot
sad.
of times, birds of prey won't eat cats because cats fight. Like a rabbit, once it's caught, it just gives up. But a cat will launch all 4 claws into the
bird.
And pull out as many feathers and mess them up.
Shady says Irish mob hat, need a baseball cap. And then Denny is still around, and he says that's a flat cap or a newsboy cap.
Newsboy.
Steven says, Whip, I could have sworn you said you have one. Oh, never mind. Yeah, I have one. It is strictly for drinking water. Like it only gives you a very tiny amount. So I don't know how it's not. I don't even know if it's a full gallon. I mean, I know it makes more than a gallon, but it doesn't. To fill a gallon jug takes for like 5, 6, 7 minutes.
Baseball hats are too hard to make because I have to make it real thin. Unless I just cut the top of his head off and make it flat, and then I could make it. But I'd rather not cut his head up.
Oinky says, I just introduced Jameson to videos on the rainbow belly pipefish. I have been researching.
Pretty.
He thinks they are awesome. They are awesome. I just think they're tough to keep, is what we determined, isn't it? They tough to feed. My cat Sebastian, this is from GRB, was young stray that used to spend a lot of each day lying under my car in the driveway. One day he walked to the house and looked at me and said, "Hey, mister, can I live with you?" Been here for 3 years now. We love him.
If your cat can talk, you definitely keep
it. You're right. Sometimes the bird of prey breaks spines when they grab critters. Yeah, for sure. In fact, almost every time. That's how they immobilize them.
My buddy Wait, my buddy was a falconist, so he would tell me about why most of the hawks don't mess with cats, and they might even be hard to break their necks because they're so wiggly. But his hawk grabbed somebody's cat once because his hawk knew it had a human backup. So basically, it would grab its prey and wait for the human to come and kill it. And so it had grabbed this cat and it had a bell around its neck. So he knew it was somebody's pet, which made him feel even more sad. But
Right.
he had to pull all the claws off of each of them and the talon. And he said the talon was actually one of the talons was in its going through its tongue. So it had its tongue pierced, the cat. The bird lost a couple of its feathers. It never grew back in one of its wings. But when he would go falconry with other falconists, he could always spot his out in the sky because it was missing a couple of his feathers in that spot from where the cat had ripped into its
had a bolt spot.
Its wing. He had a type of hawk from Arizona, and it's a hawk that works in packs. So they work as a group to get great big, I guess, jackrabbits and stuff. But what makes it nice is like all of his buddies that were falconrists could go at the same time, and the birds wouldn't fight with each other, or they would work as a team. And he said it was a lot more fun.
Wendy says, GRB, that's how I ended up married. Can I live with you?
You showed up on somebody's porch or your husband showed up on yours.
Oinky says, 3G, definitely. I'm all about the key lime sharing. Everyone should be part of the key lime pie. Oh, not pie, key lime consumption cult. I wish I could have it, but I can't have it. I would go into a coma.
Key lime pie is your favorite.
Yeah, I know. Apparently. Zenny says, GRB, that's my hubby. They follow him around and he gets attacked. And if they get brave enough, they come inside. He takes them into the vet and they get shots and collars. Dee says, well, Wendy, that way you get to pick out the house, right? Yeah, right. You just find the house you like. You don't have to necessarily like the husband. Mikey B says, had a great time. 1 hour at the Aquashella, met the Ohio peeps. We did win the $100 worth of the Garden Eater products.
Nice.
Yep. I don't know. I think Maritza said she recognized just by looking around when Grant filmed where he was hiding it. She must have like recognized the general background and kind of was able to look in there and say, oh, yep, there it is. Hey, Cat House is here.
Yes. Okay, so I'm on Etsy, and the size hats we've got, it looks like almost military or Nazi type hats. I don't think Skipper's going to go for that.
Nope.
Even though one's a captain's hat. Look. And he could be a skipper.
Oh, there you go.
He was in the Air Force.
Bring it back around to where.
Oh. Well, here's a hat.
Hey, there you go.
Let's see how much this hat costs. $8.50. His figure only costs $10. Freaking hell, it costs almost as much as his whole body.
Get it. I'll spring for it.
And after shipping, I gotta buy a 3D printer so I can just print this stuff myself. Wouldn't that be fun?
It would be. I would be printing stuff off like a maniac.
Now, there's two types of printers. You have the filament string, the kind that comes from the top and makes everything. And then there's one called a resin, and it's a liquid you pour in, and somehow it electrocutes the bottom of it and hardens where it electrocutes, and it grows out of the liquid. And that one is like the perfect one for detail, like because that's the one I'd like to get for painting all my miniatures and making miniature stuff.
Right.
Because the one with the string isn't as detailed, but the one with the string is the one that's safe for fish tanks.
Isn't safe for
So
what? Fish tank?
Fish tank safe. The resin is not fish tank safe.
Right. Yeah, I heard the resin is tough. But it's the most detailed. Yeah, you're right.
So I think I really need the
Best
resin.
best Tetra. Oinky is looking for suggestions for a 10 to 20 gallon tank on the best Tetras for a beginner. There's
Well,
still 31 people here. I expect 31 answers and Ed. And go. I'm going to be right back because I've gone way longer than I intended and I have to go potty.
okay. Well, I would go with 3 small Tetras and you pick them. And as much as people hate neon Tetras, they're fantastic. They live 8 years. They're the longest lived Tetra for small guys. All your other Tetras are going to live about 5 in perfect conditions. But your neons, I have had better success with neons than cardinals. So I'll go neons, black Tetras. That's what we talked about last night that Skipper got. That's what I got with you last year at the Clash when we went to that fish store in Reading, Pennsylvania. Those things are almost bulletproof. I mean, they are a tough little fish. They're super fast. They school together, and they like to be chased and chase each other. So it's like they play tag almost. And I love black neon tetras. I'm not going to lie. And then as they get older, they fill out, and now they're like little fat guys. They look like Priscilla tetras almost. So that I like that. And then I also love the green neon tetras. They're the same care as the other two. It's just they're more like a neon tetra size and shaped like rice, but it gets bigger. But yeah, that's the so they're like the neon tetra size. But
Hey,
they're super easy to keep alive, unlike things like
what are we talking about?
oh
Which
man,
one?
so many others died. Oh, well, no, for that small. What's ice tank? Was it
10 to
20 or
20.
10?
She's had 10-20, so I don't, maybe he hasn't picked it out yet.
If it's a tall 20, you could do white skirt tetras and have like a group of 5 or 6 of them. And you could in there the exact same thing as the glowfish. So that's like that. And then the black skirts are basically the same thing, but they got the black on the back of their fins and they kind of have a stripe. They're kind of like if a tetra was an angelfish, it'd be a black skirt tetra.
So you have a couple different embers, black neons, lemon tetra. I was not here to hear what you were suggesting, so if these are just
I
if
I
I'm repeating.
suggested blacks, greens, and neon tetras.
Okay.
Or
And
white skirts.
ember, diamond tetras, Cat House says, and Dee Dee said that. Yep, they're pretty.
If you
Danny
got
says
the blacks,
candy cane.
you could get the black ones and then get like a rainbow shark. You'd probably think that was pretty cool. And if the rainbow shark grows too big, you could put it in one of your bigger tanks or take it back to the fish store and get a smaller one. Fish stores love big fish. If you have a fish that now, okay, I want to specify not on the cichlid side. Because I mean, maybe a peacock, they would love full grown peacocks, but a full grown Oscar, they're probably not going to love. But full grown fish that get like this big, but they sell them when they're this big. They love getting the big ones because they can sell them for 3 times as much.
Right.
The
And you
trade.
did all the work.
Yeah. So like uh the different algae eaters, the Siamese algae
I mean,
eater and the flying fox, once they get too big and stop eating algae, you can take them back and somebody's going to spend a whole lot of money for a big fish and they'll trade you a little fish every day normally. So if you take in a red tail shark or a rainbow shark that's this big, they'll give you one this big all day long as trade-in.
right.
So you could just grow them out and trade them in.
Oinky says she currently has candy cane, neons, I assume just the standard, diamonds, bloodfin, and one each XL bleeding heart and gold tetra. And then Cat House says gold tetras are cool and cheap.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've read
too.
the highlighted comment, but Zenny says, Ed, I know it's not super cheap, but usually just use, and you usually just use Sculpey, but have you ever gotten the Habitat Black epoxy putty that's made for fake coral and reef building? She says it's an aquarium resin, but obviously not for 3D printing, just molding.
Well, I used that when I was making my saltwater tank, but I got the purple color because my rocks were purple that I was putting together. But it felt like it had a sand in it. So I don't know how detailed it would be. And maybe that's just the purple that has sand in it. But it had like a real grittiness to it. There's this stuff called green stuff. Literally, that's what people call it, green stuff. And it's an epoxy clay that hardens that you can sculpt. It's half blue and half yellow, and you mold it together like this until it turns green, and then you have about 2 hours to shape it any way you want. And you can shape it super thin, and it will be perfect for their hair. And that's what I'll use for their hair. And I could probably make it real thin for a bill of a cap, and like the beanie part of the hat would probably fit real good. So let's see how much green stuff costs on Amazon. The problem is the last 2 times I bought it on Amazon, it started to dry out and I had to peel like a rubber coating off because it that oxidized on one side and it was really annoying. But that's what like people when they make models, they take the green stuff and they pack it into where the two joints don't quite fit together right. So you can fill it in. So there's not like this big gap.
Right.
I cheap out. I pour glue in the joint and then I spray it and I keep doing it until I have enough layers of glue that it fills in the holes.
Right.
But the green stuff is amazing.
I love as tetras go. My favorite tetra. Well, I have two favorites. One is my favorite. Just recently, the cherry tetra, $13. That's not horrible. How much
No,
is it? I mean, is it a pound? Is it a half a pound? Is it?
It's 12 inches.
I
So it's
love the
like,
cherry tetra. So, and then the serpe. The serpe is it's cheap
oh yeah.
cousin.
Well,
But I know they're known for being a little bit thin nippy, but if you get them in a big, like 8, 10 of them, they do all right. Hey, Foxy.
I would like to get the Colombian tetras someday. The Colombian red fins, because they have like a blue body and red
Yeah,
fins.
I have
A
one.
lot of them have a silver body, but man, if you can feed them probably some high protein or something to really get their colors popping, but they get a little too big for a 10 or for a 20-gallon tank. So that's why I stayed away from them. I was going for a little bitty fish that's action packed that stays like it together. Yeah. Blue Carry Tetras. See what a Blue Carry Tetra is.
I looked those up once. They are very cool. I can't remember exactly. I just remember thinking, oh, man, that is a good looking fish.
Well,
She
maybe
says
that's
Jameson's the only member of the family that's got any real interest in fish keeping. I want so much for him to join us in the beautiful hobby. It's changed my life for the better. Yeah.
They have like the iridescence that the Congo Tetra has. I wonder how big they get. Because that's I didn't go Congo because of the size requirements too. Oh, and they don't. Well, here's a blue emperor. Oh, okay. So I've heard of them being called blue emperors that are like this. But they're saying it's also known as, oh no, it's a blue emperor or a blue carry tetra. What were we looking for?
That's it. Blue carry.
Blue carries? Okay.
Yeah.
So that looks quite a bit different from the one that we showed with the iridescent colors.
Yeah.
But they don't cost bad. Like whatever website this is says 5 to 9 of them cost $5.69 a piece.
So 3G says Congos are the best, hands down. But not for a 20-gallon. And then Zenny says, I know they can be sensitive for some, but my rummy nose are the ones that have done the best for me. They're over 40 years old now.
Oh, that's awesome. I have a hard time with the rummy nose. That's why I didn't. My water's been really different between Illinois, Missouri, where I live was the same pretty much area. It was always hard water with a lot of calcium in it. And then here is pretty neutral water with low minerals. So, and I just haven't had much luck with either. And they should have done better here because I think they like the lower mineral stuff.
Right.
Softer water.
Ken House says, yeah,
yeah.
Super blue carry tetras, they are cool. Normal tetra size, but plumper. And then Oinky remembered that she also has 2 blue-eyed emperor tetras. GRB says carry tetras males get a cool spike on the tail.
I had the penguin tetras, and they were pretty cool, but I really think they should have been called hockey sticks. I don't know why they were penguins. I think they just called them penguin because it had a good. At the time, everybody loved penguins in the 80s.
Well, it's because it's the best hockey team in the world.
Oh, you think it was named after those penguins? Maybe.
I don't know. Danny B says, I'm getting longfin cherry barbs from Foxy.
I've actually owned a lot of different tetras over the years. I've had a lot of the barbs, tetras, and the live bears.
Paul Newman says he's been enjoying red-eyed tetras.
Now the red eyes and the candy canes look a lot alike, don't they? Except for the little hook on, like the little white parts at the tops.
GRB says Congo tetras are stunning and very cool fish to keep, but they have a twitch that annoys some. A twitch.
Or a red is also known as serpas.
What is?
I thought a serpa was a little different, but
I missed what you're comparing it to.
A red eye.
I don't think. I think those are 2 different fish.
You know what? I didn't put I in there. I just put red tetra.
Wanky says, one of the coolest things I've ever seen in a tank.
There.
The simple act of hundreds of neons swimming around. Yeah.
I had those guys in the 80s. I used to have those in my fish tank with my creature from the Black Lagoon.
Dee says, I believe it was Stephen who once said he uses rummy nose tetra neon noses as indicators of healthy tank condition. I
Totally
am
true.
remembering correctly, Stephen. Am I? Gotta go. Danny V's gotta go. Thanks for the stream, gentlemen. Have a good day. Yeah, I gotta go here soon too. I'm hungry.
I think that's been kind of a thing that everybody have said about those guys, because if it's nice and bright and red, then you know you've got good water conditions. So if it starts to fade, you know something's wrong. So, have you seen those rummy nose that have orange runny nose? They are really neat looking.
Yeah, I am not
I
familiar
forgot
with
all
those
about
either.
those. I saw them at Aquashella Chicago last time I was there. Orange rummy nose tetra.
Paul lost all his rummy nose. That's not good. 18 of them. Holy cow. That sucks.
That is a bummer. Well, and now I can't find any orange ones online. It was like an albino version or something. It was really unique.
Yeah, I bet that's what it was.
It was Jenna P's fish tank was in the corner at Aquashella, and it was probably like 8 tanks down from them. So you would go 3, and then right almost in the middle, but towards the other side, they had a tank with those orange ones, and it was really unique. Oh man, thank you for opening that door, Dad. That dropped the temperature in here. Oh. It's getting hot.
Were they perhaps rummy nose rasbora?
Okay.
That from the Miss Ginger.
Rummy nose rasbora.
I got some neon orange guppies from. Oh, pardon me. The males look a lot like an orange rummy nose.
Yeah, these actually had like the rummy nose, I think, looked like World War II airplanes with that stripe on their tail.
Mm-hmm.
And it had like that really close. That was like that color, but it had the striped tail, and I think it had orange fins. It was a little different.
George Mexicali Fish Keeper says Von Rio Tetras? Or maybe that's what he was suggesting to Wonky. Von Rio.
Von Rio Tetras. See, I was about to say, this looks like a Serpa. And that's what it came up again.
Steven says, I know Eric brought rummy nose tetras for the Chicago Skate in 2022.
Yeah, and they were beautiful.
Yeah, they were. They were huge. Yeah.
They were so healthy. So it's also known as a flame tetra. The Von Rio.
I had some of those too. For the gift certificate that I think I won from Stephen P. I have forgotten the company, but
I won a Fish Christmas gift card and I never used it.
Oh, Ed.
It was the Fish Wholesalers in Florida. And I was planning on going there last year to Daytona and then swinging by the shop because they said I could use it at their shop. And then I got relieved of my duty. I never went there. But it's real close to Shelby and Grant's near Tampa Bay. So I was going to go visit them.
Is that where they're at?
Santa outfit. There was my summer Santa outfit.
Hey,
and I wish you could have seen my cowboy boots and red shorts. You couldn't see them in that.
Oinky says, my one and only extra large bleeding heart, not on purpose. There was only one available that day. is such a fast, aggressive eater. Are they all like that? I would guess so. Those torpedo-shaped bodies are all pretty quick.
Did she say a rainbow?
No, the bleeding heart.
Oh,
Never seen a Congo tetra that doesn't twitch.
oh,
Red eyes
here's
have a silver body, black vertical stripe on the tail.
This is wow. Darn it! I was gonna try to show my Oinky hat that I made last year.
I want to get
I
some
made it
ember
short.
tetras now that I know their scientific name is. Oh,
See, there's my Mandalorian Oinky hat.
look at you.
That thing was awesome to make. It was so much fun.
Yep.
Kind of doing a little video. And they make these helmets so cool now. My helmet for Boba Fett, it's just a mold. But the inside of hers like has padding and everything. It's cool.
But you have such an enormous noggin. Does it even fit on your head?
Yeah. Oh, Mandalorian helmets are pretty big. They don't even have neck pieces. Did you see that? The Mandalorian helmets are perfect because they just sit straight down.
Oh.
They fit almost every head there is. Except for maybe the elephant head. Elephant Man. But I'm trying to find that fish tank because I videotaped every single one of those tanks that year that Jenna P was doing her tank in. I even got to drive Jenna to the airport that year. That was awesome. Her and Brooklyn Bell. I got to drive them to the airport. And I was like, I hope Steven's proud of me for keeping his women folk safe. Oh,
Like he's
there's
like,
a picture of me as Wolverine years ago at the factory.
oh, look at you.
I bought that stocking hat at the factory and I wore it to break or into the work or something. Okay.
Like he says, it's a shame that she can't keep her ghost knife in with the neons long term. You know, my ghost knife has zero interest in eating anybody. You might be able to. They have a very tiny mouth and they're damn near blind. Only Oscar says she has Star Trek uniforms, several.
I have one, and it's terrible. It's so terrible. I bought it at Goodwill last year, and it's for like a 12-year-old boy. And it's like, it literally goes to here, and it's like super tight. It looks like if the Family Guy was trying to go for a costume, but because of the stretchy material, it fits on my body. It doesn't cut my circulation off, but it looks so terrible. Oh, I had to buy it. It's a Captain Kirk one. Yellow.
$200 for those 18 rummy nose that he lost. Ouch. That stings a little bit.
Yeah, it does. Good Lord. I videotape these things in reverse, so I can't find this was Jen Williams. She won it back. That's Jen's. She won it that year, but that's what our fish tank looks like because she practiced with the one that I've got in my living room here for my dad. So it's the exact same pretty much design.
You had Jen Williams in your house?
No.
Oh.
I got her tank at the Clash 2 years ago. And Aquashella was the next week, so she was practicing her tank building for the design, and I got the design, like the prototype. I think
Right.
it's this tank or the next tank that had those.
No, not that one.
Unfortunately, it's going to be so small. Maybe I could. It's going to end with the peas. That guy tried to build his on the floor and then put it into his tank. Oh no, maybe it wasn't that guy. The guy at the very end tried to build his on the floor and then put it in, and it didn't quite work out for him.
Didn't work out.
He built it on egg crate.
Yeah, I remember that guy. So that's it?
No, I don't know. Oh. Oh, now it's moving. I must have just, maybe I stopped to talk to somebody. So I don't know why I showed that one for so long. Oh no, I think it's starting over.
I think it did. I think that
Sorry,
last
guys.
one was it paused there so long is because it just started over from that. That must have been the last tank.
Well, that's crap. I wanted to show the peas.
Two are made real nice. She's talking about her uniforms. The other one is a onesie that I wear at Halloween. Blanky says, I wish my Mando hat was DOT approved. Doesn't everybody dress up for Halloween? I did for a long time. I mean, well beyond childhood. I have a phaser that when I shoot it, my cat will fall down dead. It must be play acting or something. I don't know. Or it's a real phaser.
I think this is the peas. I think that was theirs.
Weren't they the last one on the left? Were the peas? The
Yeah.
peas and Kelly were together, right? They were the
Yep.
furthest one around on the end. So probably the one that you ended up being frozen on.
I think it stopped at the very end.
Yeah, that was probably them.
I don't think I made the turn.
Oh,
I don't think they had a. These are photos.
yeah.
But I think they had a trail. Unless, wait, this could be it because they had a lot of nano petite. Maybe this was it. I see a lot of nano. And the peas probably went to lunch.
Yeah, they're not talking. Anyone seen those under gravel corner caves for fish tanks and shrimp? Nope. That'd be cool though.
That's Bobo on his last haircut,
Poor Bobo.
or his second to last.
We still
Oh,
have
here's my
Christmas trees set
family.
up with Star Trek ornaments.
This
The
is
whole
my
family.
family's last. Yeah, we did right here. We did a Halloween picture. My mom. Whoops. My mom's the chicken. I bought the chicken hat, and then my dad's wearing one of my knight in shining armor outfits that I bought for D&D.
Oh yeah.
It's just a hoodie that looks like, and there I am as the robot. Good times.
Oh, Stephen is here, and he said yes, that was it.
Awesome. I should have remembered the nano. Once I saw the nano, I remembered.
Steven wasn't there though, was he?
No, but he probably saw pictures. Steven was in Seattle doing October.
Yeah, yes. Doing his rap thing.
My name is Stephen P. Yes, sirree. I like to rap and do a ring-a-dee. I don't know. I'm not very good at rapping.
Nano petite. Only Oscar says that word nano bugs me. Okay. Oinky says that would be the bestest reason for me to own every green Pleco company plushie ever created. They would be part of my fashionista wardrobe on a permanent everyday basis. I don't know what that is referring to. What would be
probably? I don't know. It was probably something that somebody else was talking about.
Yeah,
but she would probably look like a Muppet. There'd be so many of them you couldn't see her.
Light up the runway, folks. Here come the plushies.
She bought me a plushie that I just stuck to one of my fish tanks downstairs last week. She bought me the one of the fancy guppies last year. And I was like going through boxes of my stuff from last year because I never took it out, and I found it.
All right, guys, I'm going to take off. It's 1:30. I know there's still 27 people in here, and that's almost as much as I had all day. So, but I'm hungry.
I'm really hungry too. I can't help it.
I just can't help it.
Just hungry.
So, my neck hurts.
Why does it hurt? Did you get hit by a tree?
It just, I feel there's like a pinch right here.
Have you ever been hit by a tree?
I've hit a tree. Trees never hit me.
Oh, wow.
No, that's not true. I did get hit by a tree one time. I was trying to break. It was a tree about that big around, maybe 30 feet tall, and I had the bucket, and it was stone cold dead. And I figured I could just push it with the bucket truck, with the bucket itself, and it would snap off. And it just kept pushing over and over and over. And I looked out over the bucket to see what the hell, why wasn't it break? And at that particular moment, it slid around the lip of the, around the edge and cracked me upside my head. My glasses went flying, my helmet went flying. And I remember being rendered even goofier than I am normally.
Wow. That's an awesome story.
Right?
I was wondering if somebody ever cut a tree and made it fall on top of it.
Nope. No. You know what?
Or sometimes people cut trees that are on the ground and the weight distribution makes it fly upwards.
Yep, it barbitures. I did get rolled, so technically I got hit twice. The guy who had dropped a tree the other direction. I was standing over here, and he dropped it this way, but we were dropping it onto the pile of wood so that we wouldn't have to move this big, heavy thing because it was probably close to 3 foot in diameter. And we had already dropped one that I was standing up against. So the back of my calves were up against the first one we dropped, and it was up on its side. It was still taller than my knees were high. So that's how big that one was. And we dropped the second one, and it hit the pile and rolled and hit me and pinned me between the two. That was another stupid move. I was bandaged up for a while on that one. So Xanadu is still here. Hey, buddy. But
have you ever found anything cool in the woods while you were cutting trees?
Nothing that you want to hear about.
Like I guess you're too far north for cannonballs.
No,
Like
we
they find
found
cannonballs in trees down here sometimes.
we found a place where people were being exceptionally cruel to one of your favorite creatures on the planet. So that was not good. They were
There's
all
not that
hanging.
many.
What's that?
They were killing bishers.
They had hung about 7 or 8 cats.
Cats.
Yep.
Oh,
They were just
if somebody gets
dangling from
attacked
the
by a
trees.
cat, I go all in, man. If somebody was attacking Nico or baby cat, they
Trust
might
me.
as well just attack me first.
Yep. I'm saying same thing. But yeah, nothing really cool.
That's too bad. When they find a tree with a like a cannonball stuck in it, they'll cut that section out and they take it to this museum. It's a Civil War museum. It's actually I think it's on the Georgia side in Ringgold, but that's like a suburb of Chattanooga, and they put it there, and so you get to see all the different cannonballs that have been found in trees.
Cool.
And some of these cannonballs you barely see, but they say the tree grew around it because of so many years from the Civil
Sure.
War.
Yeah, I've
Pretty
never
cool.
seen that. That would freak me out. We did come across a dead body one time. Somebody had executed
Yeah.
some dude, stripped him down naked, shot him in the head, shot him in the chest, and left him out there to rot. That was fun.
Man, why would you strip the guy naked and shoot him?
I have no idea, but he was definitely naked and he was definitely shot twice, at least twice. But anyway, on that note,
Yeah, let's leave it on a positive note.
yeah,
Hey,
give me
you
something
guys, if you're
positive.
mad, yeah, if you guys are mad at somebody, don't strip them in the woods and shoot them. Just tell them, hey, let's have a coffee and try to
Work
work it
this
out.
out. Yeah.
It was probably
So,
like the guy kept mowing too early in the morning or something.
yeah, right. Something stupid. You got anything? Last words of wisdom?
That was it.
Okay, that was it. All right,
Doesn't
everybody.
get
We'll
any
talk to
better.
you later. Uh,
Ah,
make time for the people in your lives that matter, and tell them you love them. We'll talk to you later.
bye, Oinky. Bye, Jameson.